Good evening, welcome to the next instalment of Burning Blades. So last time, you began returning home to Phandalin after a little bit of hijinks in Neverwinter. Returning back to Phandalin, on the way there, you did encounter a merchant who informed you there had been some kind of incident on the high road south, specifically where it passed through the Mirror of Dead Men. Something about a massacre at a work camp, but he was a bit vague on the details. Didn't really know a lot. All he knew was that the Neverwinter Guard had shut the road down and weren't letting anyone through. You toyed with the idea of going investigating it, but you decided you wanted to get back to Phandalin first. So, returning home, you did not find it. Smouldering ruin. I mean, it only been about, 21 days that you'd been away. Some of you sit around some various crafting, making potions, making spell scrolls. Gortrick, predictably, to his forge to work on some equipment. Some of you, Rogar and Rui, you went to see how young Abigail was doing, along with Myrna. You discovered that Abigail had been visited by a halfling with a familiar sounding name. What is that? Is Ian just getting in the car and driving away?
Oh, shit.
What you doing, fam?
No, my mate sent me a video, and I thought my microphone was muted, but it looks like the muting mechanism on my microphone's broken.
Yep, that was not muted.
Yeah, my mute's broke.
So, back on track. Rogar and Rui went to visit Abigail and discovered that Abigail had been visited by a halfling with a familiar name, who had given her a couple of little puppets, and gave you some cause for consternation. What else happened? Grishnak, you and your friend Doran, the other hunter, you decided that you'd go and have a look and see if you could actually find some passage through the Mirror of Dead Men so you could go and investigate this workhouse. And unfortunately you were stopped by the Neverwinter Guard roadblock, and despite your best efforts they were not having any of your shit, and you decided against trying to forward your way through the Mirror on your own, without the rest of the party. So you return home. So I'm missing anything horrendous. We left off as you... Yes, that's right. As you gathered in your manor, Sister Gabrielli turned up with some news, basically filling you in on... I did miss something. No, Rui, you'd previously went to see Sister Gabrielli, didn't you? And asked her about Agatha, the Banshee. She suggested that if you wanted to find a way of helping her move on, then you needed to find some... whatever it was, unfinished. It's typically unfinished business, but not necessarily in a literal sense, that was keeping her bound there. If you could figure out what that was, you might be able to find a way to help her pass on peacefully. She also returned to your spellbook, along with a song that she had written into it, that she told you, if performed properly, would let you invoke a blessing of Timora. Anyway, at the end of the week, as Gortrek was handing out goodies, she came to you in your manor and informed you that she had received a bit of word from Leosin about this Nerita that you had found a reference to back in Frulan Mondath's maps after you raided her quarters way back in the Dragon Hatchery. He had done some looking into it, and he had discovered it referred to a castle that sat in the Mirror of Dead Men, suspiciously near to this roadhouse where the massacre had occurred. She told you that Leeson had done a bit more digging and found that this was where the cults were taking, or it's suspected that this is where the cult is taking all of the loot that they'd been gathering, specifically the caravan that had left from the cult camp and that you had briefly encountered going through Baldur's Gate. She also revealed that a Zentarim agent had infiltrated the caravan as it headed north, trying to gather intel for this kind of loose alliance of Harpers and Zentarim. Something had gone wrong at the roadwork camp house and had resulted in the deaths of about a dozen cultists. Leosin and Garelli's fear was that this would mean that the cult would start to wrap up their operations in that area, that it would accelerate their schedule, and so they requested that you travel to this Castle Neriter and see what you can find out, see what you can learn, and potentially even hamper their activities there. But it was suggested that to find your way through the swamp to this castle, you might need a guide, someone who had been to the swamp before, someone who knew how to traverse it. At which point, a familiar voice called out to you. And that is where we will pick up. So, as Spoons' voice rings out through the room, you all turn to see him trying somewhat nonchalantly to lie across the top of the piano, but he is struggling a little bit. What with the slanted lid, he's trying to keep his balance without sliding down it.
Why are you measuring your distance to him, Cal?
I wonder.
I left it there long enough to see if anyone picked up on it.
Yeah, I think Rui would kill you, Cal, if you ended up burning his piano.
Who said I was going to set fire to him?
So,
What else? Do you do anything else?
I do lots of things. You don't know me.
So, Spoons looks around at
Wrong
all you.
person.
Are you actually?
No, I'm not going to do that. I know that he's on our side. I know he's on our side now.
Also, please appreciate the new token for Sister Garielli, as well as
Love
for Spoons himself.
That was
He's
Spoon.
a tiny bastard, isn't he?
He is a
tiny,
goblin.
yeah.
So, he's small.
Good.
He's about, what is he? He's about 3 foot, I think. He's like comparable to a gnome. Kind of looks around at all of you. Hello, lads.
Spoon,
Grishnak.
how you been keeping?
Yeah, not too bad. You're looking airier than normal.
Yeah.
I swear,
Well
one of these
spotted.
days you're just going to turn into a bear, mate.
Funny you should say that.
Well, don't all rush to greet me at once, why don't you?
Can you please get off of my piano?
Well, it's quite comfy up here, mate.
I'll close the door really forcefully. Close the top of it.
Okay, so do me a dex check.
Okay.
Let's see if you're quick enough to slam it shut before he can throw himself clear. Oh, it's a 20. Let's see if
Yeah.
he can beat this. Okay, so yeah, he got a 27 on his.
Blow a neck.
So he's just going to do, as you quickly whip your hand out and knock away the little strut that holds up the lid. He sees your hand move and he just does a casual little action roll off the piano and lands on the carpet next to it. All right, that's about necessary, mate.
Can I be there when he rolls off?
I mean, do you just want to be
Looking
in his
down
face,
at him.
or are you trying to get
Just
in and
looking
grab him?
down at him.
Yeah,
I'm
you
looking
could
to
just be
grab
there.
him.
So he kind of looks up to Ruri and then feels this presence and just slowly turns and looks up at you. Little bit of a sheepish grin.
Why have you been giving toys to Abigail?
Well, that's what you give little kids, innit? You give them toys.
What is your intention with these toys?
Look, I mean nothing by it. I just want to help cheer her up. She's been through a lot lately.
Narrow my eyes.
Was not but a month ago that her whole family been killed. Everyone she knew and loved been killed by orcs. So I'll make sure she was all right. Cheer up a little bit.
I look at Rory is he telling the truth?
I will squint my eyes and do an insight check.
You can incite him, sure.
Get you for a present.
He seems to be telling the truth, yeah. You don't get a hint of any deception.
Like socks.
I just look at Rogar, give him a slight nod.
Well, thank you.
So Sister Gabrielle at this point steps up. Well then, obviously this is a very happy reunion.
What's the plan?
Sorry, my daughter just invaded my personal space with my dog wearing socks.
Sorry?
My
So the
daughter's
dog
put
was
socks
wearing
on my
socks?
dog
Oh, God.
and then carried him in here to show me the dog wearing socks.
So basically, there's a moment of silence as everyone stops to look as Cal puts socks on Chewie.
Ironically, that dog's name is also Chewy.
Nice.
So Sister Gabrielle steps up. Look, I appreciate that there is not... Spoons might not be everybody's ideal travelling
Oh,
companion.
buddies.
Spoons does give a little flourish and a bow. But he knows the swamp, and he knows how to get to this castle. And I think we can trust him to get you there in one piece. That's right. You go without me, you're going to be feeding the crocodiles in less than a day, I can promise you that.
Maybe we can feed you to the crocodiles.
You can fucking try, mate. So, you accept or what?
I'm not sure we have a choice.
No, I'm not sure you do. You can try and find somebody else, but, times are wasting.
No, it would be useful to have a guide, I suppose. And although your attitude irks me, you haven't necessarily done anything to make me not trust you. So, for now, I think it's as good a choice as any.
Well, I ain't got a problem with you, mate, so I'm not bothered.
That's very gracious of you. Well, with such ringing praise, how can I possibly refuse? Very well, I accept to be your guide. Still, and he eyes you, Rogar. You see his gaze pass across Gortrek and you, Calibre. You three are going to be a problem. Swamps, well, it's not exactly solid ground out there, even where it looks like it is, it's usually just a little bit of mud and grass floating atop the water. You look pretty heavy. And if you go in a drink, well, all that armour is probably going to make you sink like a stone. Might need to do something about it. Well, stealthy's good. There's some nasty things lurking in that swamp.
Why don't I just take Taraxis, and then I don't have to touch the swamp water?
Alright, fine. What about him and him? Points to Gortrek and Cal.
I could turn them invisible.
It's not so much about being stealthy, mate. It's about whether or not they're going to go through into the water as soon as they put their feet down.
That's the point. Gotrek can't swim.
Can he not swim? What a fucking loser.
I don't.
Oh, he's going to kill me when he
Gotrek,
gets
are you
it.
going to take that?
Gotrek will take that.
Godric, he made you his little bitch. What are you doing?
Everyone knows that
he's
Gotrek
right,
notoriously
he's
loves
right.
goblins.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what I can do. I'm stout. I wouldn't say I was fat. Looks at his belly.
Well, maybe you wouldn't say it, but...
Alright,
That's
well,
fireball.
Could we not get you some? Could we not get you some lighter armor, perhaps, for crossing the swamp?
Well, I've only just got this armor.
yeah, and you can tell that Gotrek probably wouldn't want to part with his own armour.
In fairness, the armor I'm in is actually lighter than the armor I was in.
That's a good point, it is.
How about I tie a rope around Godric and then just drag him behind Anthraxis
Yeah.
like a wrecking ball?
I mean,
Can we call him Miley as well?
I did say you were going to Miley Cyrus your way through this,
Yeah.
through these challenges, but
Is there not room on Taraxis for one to sit with and one of us brave souls to be carried? And by brave souls, I mean Gotrek, because he's not here to defend himself.
You could potentially carry one, but it's I am
It's very heavy.
I am very heavy.
Sister Garrity does speak up again at this point. I think that a stealthy approach would not be a bad idea. From what we can expect, there could be a lot of cultists at this castle. They would probably see you coming, remove any element of surprise, and possibly an attempt to actually thwart whatever activities are occurring at this castle Neritier.
So, how do we have any way to levitate the heavier people in the group?
I could cast suggestion on Gotrek and suggest he floats. That work? No?
I'm
Okay.
not sure the spell works that way, but keep it on the backplate.
Yep, plan B.
Can anyone cast fly?
That's far beyond me.
No, I'm afraid not yet. I know Gortrek's aiming towards it.
He wants to be able to fly as well. Flying death tank.
Yeah.
Incoming. Oh my
It's
god.
okay, it's okay. As soon as someone hits him and causes his concentration to fail, he basically turns into
He'll
a
just
meteor.
fall.
Hasn't he got like a +9 on his con?
I think he has,
modifier?
yeah. He'd probably be alright.
So, is there anything to be said about skiing through the swamp? You know, it redistributes body weight.
What's skiing?
It's like you have big sticks on your feet, and you like slide.
Sounds like a bad thing.
Yeah, it sounds ridiculous.
Well,
You ain't... haven't you got one of them things that you can put all your stuff in?
The back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we can't put someone in the bag of holding, surely.
Well, you could put his
It
stuff
won't
in
fit.
it.
His armor.
Sister Garrity just speaks up again at this point. Actually, Spoons might be onto something. You might want to speak to Linen. I know that she has a few... Obviously, your regular bag of holding wouldn't be all that useful. They are too small. You wouldn't be able to fit the armour inside it. But I know Linen has some larger variants that she uses for storage of wholesale goods. You might be able to get her to part with one. It's just a thought. Then maybe you and Gotrek and Cal, you could put your armour inside that, and
would we not fit inside the bag?
I
Well-
wouldn't advise it. As
I
far as
don't
I...
believe there's an air source in there, Cal.
Garrity just kind of gestures to you, Rory, just kind of like this.
And hold my breath for a really long time.
What's your con modifier?
Not that good. +3.
Yeah, you can hold your breath for like 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's all right. 3 minutes. On with Taraxis carrying the bag, flying, land it, open the bag, let me hold my breath again, fly again. I'll be good, man.
It's going to
Look at
take
that
us
shit.
about 2 or 3 days to get through the swamp.
Ah,
Yeah, I mean that's what 20, 480. I mean,
so if
over
it
a
takes
thousand
us
tops.
if it takes us 2 or 3 days to get to the swamp, does that what's to say we get ambushed while these 3 don't have their armor?
That's why you get lighter armor. I'm like, hello.
Just saying,
Hello.
it's a gamble, but, you know, just giving you options.
Again, the armor I currently wear is lighter than the armor I had.
Is it light armor?
It's half plate +1, and it weighs
So it's
40
medium armor.
pounds. It's 40 pounds. It's lighter than the 45 that I was wearing.
And Spoons does cock his head on one side. Well, you might be alright then. But you two are still going to be in trouble. Pointing at Rogar and Gortrek.
I'll
Rogar's flying.
be on tracks because I can keep a lookout above as well.
Fair enough.
What's the tree cover like in the swamp?
Fuck all.
It was okay, so it's just complete open.
Yeah,
There's
they
no
may
cover.
see you coming.
It's pretty foggy. So visibility can be a little bit impaired. Could work in your favour, could work against you. But not the worst idea. All right then. What are we doing about Chuckles over there then?
Gotrek, get in the bag.
Well, no, maybe if
So this is where it does get a little tricky
Taraxis
because
can
obviously
carry one.
It could carry that thin guy in the camp, but that was about it. It can carry Rory, and it could carry
Taraxis could carry Gotrek. Taraxis could carry Gotrek. It will slow Taraxis down a bit. However, that might not necessarily be a problem because you're not going to want to be. You're not flying for speed.
Put him in the sling where we used to keep the eggs.
Please,
Just have
please.
him
I
swing
mean,
it,
you know,
yeah,
he could
yeah.
he could easily carry Gotrek.
Poke
In
some
that
holes
manner.
for the legs.
I mean,
Like
however he
a
carries him, it's going to have a similar
It's
effect
like a
on
baby
his.
Bjorn.
You know, it's going to reduce his fly speed, but you know, even if you
Dwarf Bjorn.
reduce Tarax's fly speed by half, he's still just as going to cover just as much ground as Grishnak would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
And
that could
everyone's going to be going through a slow pace, going through the swamp at a slower pace anyway. You know, surprise, surprise, it's going to count as difficult terrain. It's doable. It is doable. It does mean that, you know, you two are both up there. Yeah, it's an option if that's the way you want to go with it.
Oh, if we can get can we get some bombs and he can just drop bombs?
Don't give him any ideas. No.
Oh my god!
No, I'll just give you the wand of magic missile, and you can just shoot that.
It's like a turret gunner.
Oh, it's going to suddenly turn into something like fucking Macross, isn't it? Macross Star or whatever.
So this is a very good idea, and I don't mean to be that guy, but what happens if we get into a situation where you can no longer fly? Then you'll need to walk with the rest of us. I'm assuming you can't fly directly to Neritar. I'm assuming probably something stopping us from doing that.
Not really.
No?
It's more just a fact of, I mean, your man there could fly straight through over the swamp into the castle if he wanted. It's just then you're going to be there on your own, and we'll be slogging through the swamp.
Right. It's up to you, Rogar. Whatever you think.
If you can keep pace with us, rather than zooming off ahead, can't see any big problems with it.
No, I don't think that's a problem. If visibility is low, then I don't even need to be that high.
Depends on time of day, really.
Well, occasionally I might pop up, go quite high, give Gotrek a good time, and
I won't ask. Look, you get a few hours around midday, when sometimes the fog clears. You can usually see for a few miles, but then the fog will roll back in again.
okay, well, I could always pack some lighter armor as well, I suppose, just in case.
Sure, cool.
Do both. Be prepared.
Well then, not much point waiting around. It is early evening at the moment. So I guess the decision there is, do you set off now or do you wait till morning?
Are we all rested?
You would all be rested, yeah. I mean, no one's been in any scraps,
We've
no
had 10
one's
days off, haven't
spent
we?
any spells, so everyone should be fully rested up.
Yeah, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Alright
Let's
then.
do it.
Well, if there's anything anyone wants to get, do it now, otherwise let's get underway.
Is the lens still open? The blue shield. Lion shield.
Lion Shield Costa, you know that you are outside of her regular hours, but you also know that she she tends to stay quite late, checking books and stock anyway. So there's a fair chance that she would be in if you went past.
Yeah.
I'm going to donate my old armor to the barracks.
Yep. What was that? Was that?
Just scale mail.
That's right. Yeah, that's cool.
So, just to donate to get. Basically, I just want to get rid of £40 of shit out of my bag.
Absolutely. We can say it went into the Fandolin Armory.
Yep.
Just
Do
remove
we? Do we actually?
Speaking of things, as Rory reminded me, who would like some healing potions?
Me.
Me.
Oh,
Who
that's
can
a
actually
point. You've
remember
got
how many healing potions I got?
fuck ton, haven't
You
you?
got
You've
8
got
of
like
each.
15.
No, I got 8 greater, 7 superior.
Nice.
Fucking hell. I'm going to regret that, but hey.
Hey, your house rules, mate.
I know.
Oh, this is when we need Grishnak's little DJ noises.
Okay, so, Rogar, what were you about to query?
Do we actually need anything from the ends if we're not going to be throwing our stuff into a big old bag?
Unless you want lighter armor, I don't think so.
I mean, you could simply requisition some lighter armor from the armory.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Okay, so what
Get 2
would you
sets.
what do you want to take?
Um,
They've got most basic armor types, really.
Maybe like
So-
studded leather?
yeah, studded leather or yeah, it'd have to be studded leather because if I go into medium, it's just going to be heavier.
Yeah, I mean, basically, you know the armory well. You helped worked with Gotrek to initially stock it. It's mostly like the standard is studded leather, chain shirts, breastplates. So that's easily doable. So yeah, if anyone wants to take studded leather,
I'm good.
obviously Grishnak, you don't fucking need it.
Yeah.
Rui, you're okay. Your breastplate mixed with your general slenderness, lightweightness. Breastplate's only £20.
Twinkiness.
If you say so, but if you say so. I mean, if you wanted Rogar, I would say a breastplate would. I'm just thinking. I think a breastplate would be fine. It's only £20. That's not much heavier than studded leather.
Okay.
And
Could you get one for Gotrek as well? Just in case.
Yeah, I'll take 2.
okay. Bear in mind, obviously, if you do then decide to take your armor off and switch to the breastplate, you'll need somewhere to put.
Could I just take all the armor pieces off apart from the breastplate?
I was thinking that's essentially. Surely it would.
Yeah.
Breastplate mail has got to incorporate a breastplate. Surely, as part of it, I would say yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and for sake of ease, I'm not too worried about what you're going to do with your armor, to be honest.
I could get a couple of sacks, throw them in a sack, attach them to Traxxas.
Yeah, just normal burlap
If he
sack.
dies, the armor will just fall into the swamp. It's
Yeah,
fine.
I would say that
Yeah,
you
but
could
so
do
are
that.
you, so it's fine.
Yeah.
That's doable.
Oh shit, I've just been looking at my inventory and I can see 3 bag of weed. Nice.
I forgot you scored drugs last week.
All right. Should we motor?
All right
Yes,
then.
let's motor.
So is there anything else anyone do? Cal, did you want to do about potions now?
Yeah, so if I give everyone 1
You
greater,
get
1 superior.
Yes,
God
please.
damn.
Yep. And then just you're
Including
going to hold on to the rest
need to
yourself.
remind Gotrek when it's here.
Yeah, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 out. So I've got 4 greater left. Yeah.
So
And
everyone
3
remember,
superior.
greater is 20 hit points, superior is 40.
Oh hell yeah!
We're fucking invincible.
Also,
I
remember,
look at I'll
Unconscious.
oh, I'm still measuring shit. I'll
This
hop
is-
up and say to Spoons, what's your healing potion stock like?
Don't give him a potion.
don't worry about me, mate. Nothing,
Okay.
nothing ever hits me in the first place.
I'll narrow my eyes at him again.
He just looks up at you and grins. It's kind of adorable. Like he's got these 2 quite prominent little tusks, which are primarily what
There's nothing
cause.
fucking cute about that little motherfucker.
Which
He
is what
owes me
primarily
Spoons.
No,
causes
I'm
his
coming round
little
to it.
speech impediment. Not speech impediment, but his little manner of
Okay,
speaking.
well, I'm gonna just fuck off over here because he annoys me.
Also, you weren't planning on bringing those big horny beasts, were you?
No.
Good, because
No.
bring them into a swamp. All you're going to be doing is feeding the wildlife.
Well, I can't speak for Gotrek, but Butthead will be staying here.
Yeah, as will Ramsey.
Well, I know that somebody had expressed a wish to keep their mounts. However, I did tell him when he said he was going to be late tonight that I might have to make decisions for him based on group consensus.
What, like killing his...
I think he would
No.
rather. I think he would rather Sif stays behind on this one and not get eaten by crocodiles.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So I'm going to rule that Gotrek agrees to leave Sif here for this
No, it's
particular.
cool. I tipped Jamie and Quiet Robert last night to give them a bubble bath, so they'll be fine.
The stable just full of bubbles. They overdid it just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. Is there anything else anyone wants to do to prep, or do people just want to get underway to the swamp?
How
Can
late
I
is
take
it?
some... Sorry, you go on.
It's between 6 and 7.
Okay, I'll just pop by Myrna's and say goodbye.
Yeah. Anything special, or just bidding
No,
farewell?
just gonna go sort some shit out. Hopefully, I won't die. Bye.
Okay. So yeah, any goodbyes anyone wants to do?
I'm gonna go into the kitchen.
Yes.
Maxime,
Oui.
we're going out on a trip. Could you prepare us some food that'll last for a few days?
Some salted meats.
Love it.
Brilliant. Yes, I will prepare.
Cool. And do me some of those roasted veggies that I like. Thank you.
No, they won't keep, but okay.
It's okay.
Yep. So yeah, while you guys are doing like some of the last minute stuff, he'll start getting some bits together. Don't mind my horrendously culturally sensitive, terrible French accent.
That's all right. I love having staff.
How Tory of you. Okay.
Grishnak's just going to go down into the cellar and get a few bottles for the road.
Oh, that's a good shout. Yeah.
Get some tinnies.
Tinnies with the leads.
I'll go
Right.
outside and start summoning Tyraxes.
What's our butler called again?
Your butler's called Oswin.
Oswin.
Yes, sir.
If Doran comes round, tell him where we've gone.
Of course, sir.
Grishnak coming out to play.
Not today, Doran. He is in the swamp. Right. Okay. So,
He
Sister
did
Garelli.
leave you his Hot Wheels to play with, though.
I don't know if Gotrek actually believes that we've already killed him, or whether he's just playing along.
Have you been putting stuff in the chat?
Well, he put, "Are we killing some shit tonight?" And I put, "Yep, you." He put
Oh,
awesome
yeah,
because I
I've
need to
just
express some rage, and I put, "No, I mean we already killed you. I cast Revivify and failed."
You are the biggest troll of the group. Okay. So, as Sister Garelli, as you finalise, some of you kind of bustling off to get stuff ready, Sister Garelli to step up. Well, good luck. Be careful. I think it's only you there. Actually, you and Cal there at the moment, because the rest are off doing stuff. Just remember, information is most important thing. If we can find out what they're doing, where they're taking the treasure, just come back alive, okay?
I have every intention. Don't worry.
I mean, I'll try.
She does give you she gives you a smile, Cal. Chewie's kind of looking at you, head cocked on one side a little bit.
That's the point. Where's Oswin? Oswin!
Yes, sir?
Remember, Chewie's family can do what he wants. Feed him regularly. Do not, I repeat, do not lock him outside.
Of course, sir. I shall endeavour to follow your instructions to the letter.
I noticed distinctly a Spoon's moving towards Chewie as well. when I
Spoons
said
is
that.
currently... You turn around and Spoons is actually scritching Chewie between the ears. Oh, what? We're not bringing a doggy?
No, I thought you were coming with us.
Oh, snap.
I'll let you have that one.
Thank you. Consider it payback for muckying my piano. Just don't touch it again.
You see him giving the piano like a bit of side eye.
I swear to God.
Fine.
No. Doggy isn't coming because I don't want Doggy to die.
Fair enough.
Maybe
Right.
one day, when he's got his martial weapon skill, I'll let him out the house.
This is out of character. Imagine having a zombie dog. How cool would that be?
I mean, what's my now that I'm no longer of the light domain? What's my opinion towards the undead?
That's up to you.
Adam, you made a dead man talk. I think you're fairly okay with it.
Well, no, that's not the undead. That's speaking with someone who's dead.
It's still necromancy.
Yeah.
For
Yes.
the right reasons, though.
Anyway. So, with people having said their goodbyes, doing some last little bits of prep, gathering whatever supplies you need. Maxime is able to furnish you with rations for the journey. Spoon's estimating probably about 6 days to get there. It's going to take at least a couple of days to get to the mere, going cross country. So, where are we? We're up here. Yeah, no, about a day to get to the mere, in a straight line, and then 3 days through. So, I'd say Maxime furnishes you with about, say, 8 days worth of food.
Lovely.
Got there and back. Right then, let's be having ya. Come on. So, unless there's anything else,
I'll let go.
we will get underway. So, I mean, are you going to travel through the night? Are you going for speed, or... I mean, if you're setting off now, you might as well.
Yeah, so sleep during the day.
Yeah, a little snooze in the sun.
It's about 7 o'clock, I'd say, in the evening by the time you leave. You could do about 10 hours of travel before you're going to need to rest.
We probably want to arrive by night as well, so we've got the element of surprise.
Aye.
Yeah, it's not a bad way of looking at it. To arrive at the castle at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, so time of day isn't it's not essential to be setting off in the morning. No, I get you. Okay, so got about 5 hours till midnight. So it'd be about
That's a good band
it'd be about 5 a.m. when you would get to the edge of the mere, and you'd need to rest up a little bit before
Are
continuing.
the guards still there?
Sorry, guards.
The guards that were guarding the pass.
But Spoon's not taking
know.
you through the pass.
Amazing. You love to hear it.
So, so you guys cut across the foothills and just around the base of this peak to the edge of the Mirror of Dead Men. It's a fairly uneventful day's travel. Well, night's travel, really. Is there anything anyone wanted to discuss during the journey? Any kind of plans? Anything at all, really?
I've got something I could say.
I
Basically,
got something to tell you. Sorry, go ahead.
So, it's alright. So, when we split ways, and I had as a Waterdeep, I travelled through this place with a few travelling bards, and they told me a few stories. One that I find slightly concerning was about a wizard's tower owned by an ex-mage called Inium. Well, the rumour is that he became a lich, and that he is the reason that the swamp is so big here. They say that when he saw the Orc War, maybe 900 years ago, he called upon the water to flood the land and created the swamp. I mean, obviously this is a rumour, it's a tale, but I think based on our experience, we found that rumours and tales tend to have some fact to them, so I would err on the side of caution.
I mean, what are you worried about encountering, mate?
Well, an evil mage, beasts, monsters.
Well, there's certainly beasts and monsters in the mere. Crocodiles, mostly. Them little froggy bastards are all over the place. Lizardmen. And there's a couple of other things too, but I won't go into that.
Yeah, so, my point was, let's be fairly cautious.
Well, that was the plan.
it sounds better when I said it.
Yeah, whatever. Fine, fine.
Well, I could understand it when you said it, Rory.
Thank you.
You're just going to get a glare from Spoons at that one.
Fuck you, you little tusk motherfucker. Right.
Bear in mind that one of your friends and companions also has tusks.
Yeah, but it doesn't impede his speech.
Yeah, but he's not a dirty goblet.
Ooh. Your
Goblin
Tory is
man's
showing
man,
tonight, man.
GLM? GLM?
No,
Yeah,
I'm liking Spoon. I'm just pretending to be Cal.
I just don't like him. Little thieving terror. So, yeah, I'm good to go. Ready. Let's do this. Do this.
So yeah, you get to the edge of the mere at about, just after sunrise. Actually, no, shortly before sunrise, because it was still in winter. And it's as you remember it, Ruri. It is a pretty, and Grishnak, you would have seen some of it in your little venture of Doran. It's a pretty grim landscape. Kind of, you think the swamp in Two Towers. You know, you just see miles and miles of fetid, grey-brown water. And there are little channels, essentially, where you can see kind of silty banks of grass running through, creating potential walkways. But as Spoons points out, some of them are not nearly as stable or as firm as they look. It also informs you that they tend to move, because a lot of them are actually floating, and so tend to drift around. That's why it can be quite hard to find your way through, as the paths can change from one day to the next. It's more about being able to spot and note, figure out what is actually solid ground and what is not, what's likely to give way underfoot. As you do make camp to get a bit of rest before setting into the swamp, obviously taking turns on watch, it passes uneventfully. Although Rogard, during your watch, you do, kind of casting your eyes out, trying to see if you spot anything. You are somewhat surprised when the small goblin figure suddenly appears next to you, just sat, kind of kicking his heels, looking out across the landscape. It's like incredibly quiet approach. Like you didn't hear him coming at all as he walked up behind you.
Ugh. What are you doing?
Sure about that, boss. She, quite fond of little Ashton, are you?
Narrow my eyes.
Well, you just seemed a little defensive, that's all.
Maybe I am.
Well, I don't entirely blame you for not trusting me. Your sort rarely do. Don't worry, I don't hold it against you. Seems like you've got best intentions at heart and all that.
She's been through a lot.
Don't I know it?
She likes the toys.
It's good. Yeah, they're pretty well made, ain't they? One of the little fellows of my little tribe, he makes them.
Your tribe?
Well, you could call us that. The boss does. He likes to think of us as a bit of a family. I think we're more a loose collection of scoundrels myself, but, you know.
You all goblins?
Not all of us. Most of us. A little bit of a mishmash.
Interesting. And who is your boss? You don't talk about them.
No, I don't.
Okay, then. Fair enough.
He sits there for a while, just kind of staring out. And seems a little bit thoughtful. And kind of turns to you. I just feel a bit of an affinity for the lash, is all. I know what she's been through. Close to it. This little this little group of mine. It's not the tribe I was born to.
You lost your birth tribe?
Very early on, yeah. Same deal, really. A bunch of marauding orky bastards come through. Killed most of us. Enslaved the rest. I was a slave to them for 2-3 years before I was rescued by the governor. So I kind of know what it's like, you know. I was barely more than a babe in arms when I was wrenched from me mother's breast as they butchered her in front of me. Can take a toll, you know. We all have different ways of dealing with it. I have mine, but I just wanted to make sure the girl had hers, you know.
Thank. She does. Thank you, Spoons.
It's alright. She likes you. Yeah. As soon as I gave her them little puppets, first thing she said, she turned to that, Murmur.
Myrna.
That's the one. And she said, I can't wait to show these to Mr. Dragon.
Put on a serious face after laughing.
You can tell that he caught that and just gives you a little playful nudge in the ribs of his elbow. She thinks highly of you.
I just wanted to be safe. I want everyone in Vandalin to be safe.
No, it's good. You know?
People have been through a lot.
She has. Oh, they all have. Most people have in this world. And obviously, your influence gives people a sense of security. Helps them relax. Means they don't have to turn themselves into stone cold badasses like myself to get themselves through, you know?
Did you ever find the orcs that
Some of
killed
them.
your family?
Yeah, some of them I did.
And?
And took care of it, didn't I? That's what you do. Well, that's what some of us do. And you see as he says this, he's kind of idly playing with this little dagger. I'm not much of a fighter, but I've got my ways.
Survived this long?
Got a few tricks up my sleeve. Mostly it's about not being seen.
Yes, I can see the advantage with your size and shape.
Well, you know, going toe to toe with people's all well and good for yourself when you're bloody 7 foot tall coated in metal, but I tend to prefer the more subtle approach. Doesn't really matter how big you are when you go and put a dagger in the back of their neck, does it?
True indeed.
Yeah.
A dagger in the night is worth 1,000 men in the dawn, or however the saying goes.
Something along those lines, yeah.
Well, I should get back to watch.
Yeah, of course. Just try to put your mind at ease, you know?
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries, fella, no worries.
I'll go to pat him on the shoulder and then I'll be like, nah.
Right. Where is that ginger bastard? I've got some eyebrows to shave off.
What did you, bastard? I don't have any eyebrows.
You don't have any eyebrows. He's obviously not talking about
I don't have
you.
any hair anymore. I'm just like a fucking. I'm like Morph from fucking the art show.
So, did anyone else have anything they wanted to, any last bits they wanted to go over before heading into the swamp?
Any final words?
Any final words, anybody?
So it's
Before
just
things
we've had
get
a sleep and
muddy.
we're awake now.
Yeah, can be. Yeah, if no one had any watch discussions or campfire talks they wanted to have, then we can go to. I was about to say next morning. It's not really next morning. It would be
Swamp Town.
Swamp Town
about
recessing?
just after midday, when you guys are all fully rested and ready to go. So, heading into the swamp. So Rogar, you and Gotrek are going to take Taraxes.
Yep.
Kind of.
Is he being held or is he like suspended?
How do we think Gortrick? Gortrick would like to. As much as I love the mental image, I think we're going to say that he is riding on Traxy's back with you.
Okay.
Just to be fair to him.
To be fair, if he's wearing his armor still, we could actually use him as an actual wrecking ball.
You could. And Traxys does look to you as this has been discussed. You mean I have to carry him as well?
Yes, just go slowly. Don't.
No kidding. You're not exactly light yourself, Roga.
Well, I know. But look, if you want to try and take that armor off him, be my guest.
I mean, he kind of. It's hard. He can't really do the whole like whispered aside thing, having no hands. But he kind of does his best. He leans in, kind of conspiratorially. We could just push him into the water and have done with it.
Well, let's leave that idea for another time. Let's peg that.
No one would know.
Okay.
Fine. I carry the heavy dwarf.
Crazy wyvern.
You call me crazy now. In a couple of days' time, you'll be begging me. Taraxis, why couldn't we just push him over into the water? Okay. So, as Taraxis mutters complaints, begins to fly up with you and Gortrick both on his back, and then slowly just kind of lazy circles around the rest of you as you all begin to trudge into the swamp, following Spoons' lead to go carefully and quietly. Travel is slow. There's a lot of, going along for a bit, getting to almost junctions where silt banks split off in different directions, and Spoon's there with like a long stick that he picked up shortly before entering, just kind of prodding the ground, testing how solid it is, beckoning all to follow. So, as you make your way through, after a couple of hours or so, can everyone who's on foot make me a dexterity check, please?
Would my danger sense count?
I would say that danger sense isn't
it a
going to
check or a
apply
saving
here.
throw?
It is a check because it's not a save,
Okay, there you go.
and it's not against something that you can see coming. It's more about whether you'd be able to react if suddenly the ground underneath you turned out not to be so solid.
So Django, I don't know where that +1 is coming from on my dex rolls.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I've checked my calculations. and
Plus
it's weird,
2,
so just
plus
assume.
1. It's not even saying.
Yeah, exactly.
How odd. All right, we'll ignore that plus 1. You haven't got any.
Because it's your birthday.
You haven't got any global
Yay.
modifiers up, have you?
There is a spell save DC modification in the cog.
Yeah, you didn't.
So it's
click
not a
on
spell
that.
save. So I've got an initiative modifier +1. Could it be that? I don't know. Oh no, that's not.
No.
Never mind, ignore.
Anyway, Ruri and Grishnak, you are fine. Cal,
Classic. Cal.
after a couple of hours of travelling, and
I'm a tired boy.
you're starting to get you're starting to get a little bit tired just because of the slow pace, and even where the ground is solid, it's like having to walk across a wet, muddy field for hours. It actually can be quite tiring on your legs and everything. Just that extra effort with every footstep as you have to pull your feet out of sucking mud.
Oh,
And
we're
you-
packing up from Download Festival.
Any festival, basically. I'm thinking Glastonbury, but yeah, that works too. And you're just but you're also starting to get a little bit complacent. And so you're not really looking where you're going, and kind of just just drifting a little bit from this kind of single file that you've been following from this line that Spoons is leading you along. And you put your foot down and you feel a foot go down. And some more. And you feel yourself starting to sink. You're in quicksand.
Shit. Right.
Why can't it be slow sand?
It's, I mean,
I'm
it's...
pulling out.
So, Yeah, I mean, and typically it's like in the movies. You know, you're not right on the edge of it. You are kind of in the center of this little kind of radiating pool of kind of it's quicksand, kind of just very kind of half solid, half liquid mud that's just pulling you down. So Grishnak, you need something to reach to him.
Yeah. I will hold out my axe, and obviously I'll the non-sharp end towards him.
I was going to say you could just use the bear claw.
You take off his sausage fingers.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, I could use the bear claw, but I would have to like impale him on it and then pull him out.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I meant more in the sense of your javelin might be better for this, but it's up to you. Axe works as well, I guess.
Yeah. What would be longer, javelin or axe?
Javelin is longer, and
Yeah,
hasn't
we'll
got a
go
bladed bit to grab onto.
Yeah, let's do it.
So yeah, Grishnak, do me a strength check to try and haul Cal out of this. 18. Yep. So after a little bit of straining, struggling, you do feel Cal. Feel yourself beginning to rise, and the grip that this bog has on you does start to lessen a little bit, as Grishnak is able to haul you out of the mud.
Fucking hell, Cal, watch where you're going.
Sorry, guys. I'm just. I don't know. I'm just tired.
I'm all bloody tired, mate. Come on, pay attention.
Don't worry about it, mate. Just follow the goblin.
Oh, you're lucky. Grishnak here is able to get you out quick enough. Don't seem to have attracted any unwanted attention. Right, let's keep going, shall we? Maybe, Grishnak, maybe you should go behind this one. Just keep an eye on him. Make sure he doesn't do it again.
Grishnak actually does take Spoon's advice and takes up the rear of the party.
Okay. So,
I do just like reassuringly say to Cal, not just for you, mate, just in case anyone else falls in, obviously, as well.
I'd say, Rogar, throughout this first day of the journey, as you're flying above the Gotrek, you're not seeing anything noteworthy on the horizon. The fog that rolls in and out does make it hard to see too far for any period of time, but you're just more swamp stretching away. You do occasionally catch little glimpses of possible movement in the water here and there, which you just put down to various fauna that lives here, but nothing that seems to be converging on the group or particularly reacting to their passage.
Okay.
So the first, other than Cal's little dalliance with the bog, the first day does pass relatively uneventfully. It's a pretty dull, miserable day of travel, and is followed up by a pretty dull, miserable night. Basically, you don't find a good place so much to make camp. You just have to make do with what you've got, which means you're essentially having to lie in a couple of inches of brackish water, making do with the barest minimum of solid ground available. And it's a very uncomfortable night, cold and wet. You will need to be keeping watches over the course of the night, so who's going when?
I'll go first.
Yep, who else is going to join Cal on that watch?
Yeah, I'll join him.
Yep, so if you both want to make me perception checks then.
Perception.
Okay. So, Grishnak, you don't keep an eye out, just watching for anything that might be swimming its way through the waters towards you, or for any of these more ambiguous monsters that Ruri and Spoons referenced. You don't see anything. Cal, likewise, but you do actually notice these bright blue orbs of light that seem to be floating in dancing distance, almost like oversized fireflies.
Can I try and catch one?
They're a little bit... They're not that close to you. I mean, they're about... It looks to be about 20, 30 feet away, but you can try and get a bit closer to one if you want.
Don't.
I feel like I want to.
Okay. So,
Right. Blue's my favourite colour.
so as you start
You know what? I
approaching
wanna
one of
die.
these, you start approaching one of these lights. Make me a wisdom save. Okay. There is something entrancing about them, mesmerizing, almost hypnotic. And as you get closer, and you start to hear almost like this, almost music, almost like kind of as if bells could sing, ringing in your mind. But as you
Would I
become,
notice him doing this at this point?
I'd say you do notice them starting to move away. But as you become aware of this, Cal, and you actually start to focus on it, and you realise that it's actually quite discordant and unpleasant, and you suddenly give your head a little bit of a shake as you resist the attempts of these things to essentially to hypnotise you.
Grishnak, be careful of these things, mate. And I sort of scurry back over to sit next to Grishnak.
What are you doing? Don't touch anything.
No, I don't know. I was attracted to the colour, and then all of a sudden everything went a little bit weird.
Right, new plan. Until we get to that castle, follow the goblin. Don't touch anything. If you see anything, tell me first.
I didn't touch it.
Come tell your dad.
Don't touch anything.
Touch it.
Don't look at anything.
I think
How the Pippin of the group.
hey, fuck off. I think we best warn the guys about these, because Gotrek will, he'll be the same as me. He'd be looking at things, but is he? We've got to be careful.
Okay.
Yeah, well, to tell them when we finish the watch.
So next watch.
I think maybe me and Godtrek will stick together.
Yep. So Rygod, just do me perception with advantage.
Yes, sir. Boop. 15.
Nice.
Yep. So you don't see anything menacing nearby. We're going to say that Gotrek got the 2, so he's not really paying much attention. You do notice these lights dancing in the distance, almost. There is something a little bit inviting about them.
No, thank you. I'm assuming Cal would maybe.
I would say actually
Yeah.
they did warn you, so I think it's easy enough for you to see him just be like, yep, not paying him any attention, leaving them alone.
Not today, blue lights.
Not today. Which would leave Ruri and Spoons to go last.
Lovely.
Yeah, Ruri, do a perception check.
Got it. Good.
Okay, yep, you don't really notice much. I say it's tricky because you're taking the last watch as well, so with the fog rolling in, it's a little bit tricky to keep track and to see anything through it. But Spoon seems to be fairly keen-eyed. You got nat 20.
Fucking hell.
He's kind of gazing about, and you see him. He does kind of twig the lights at one point, and just shakes his head. Just turns to you. Fracking will-o-wisps, mate. We'll leave them well alone. They've spelt the end of many a traveller.
Will-o-wisps.
Yeah. Who? I think they're some kind of dead spirit. I'll be honest. I don't really know much about them other than you follow them, they'll lead you to a miserable end.
Lovely.
Yeah. Stay away. That's my advice.
Lovely. Well, I can't even see them, so no problem here.
Oh, what are you talking about? They're just there.
I'll look up from making tea. Deliberately not looking
Yeah.
up.
No, you can't see what he's spotted. Oh well. Probably for the best. Here, do us a brew, will ya?
I hand him one out that I've already made.
Lovely stuff. Thank you very much. Okay. So, that'll bring us to the next morning. And it's not strictly speaking morning, is it? Because we're doing awkward time now. Sorry, let me just do some maths quickly. 1, 11. Okay, actually no, so it would have been about 11 o'clock when you finished that first day of travel through the swamp. 8 hours of rest, so it's about 7 a.m. now. So actually we have kind of come back to normal time.
Oh, we got our sleep schedule sorted then.
Yeah,
No.
nice and convenient. So, another day of travel through the swamp. So those of you on foot, I will need dexterity checks again, please. I would say this time you can do them with advantage because you kind of know what you're looking out for, having been somewhat forewarned by Cal's clumsiness the day before.
Nice.
Oof, that is fortunate for both of you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Sorry, I thought my mic was on. But I've been
That's
saying
fine,
hello
that's fine.
for the last 5 minutes. Am I doing it with straight roll or?
You're okay because you're not on foot.
You died earlier on.
I'm on Sif.
No,
No.
you're on
No?
Taraxis.
Oh, okay.
No, it
No,
was
Sif died.
Sif
Oh.
didn't die. No. Yeah, that's fine. That's actually enough to pass Cal, so don't worry. No, Sif. Sif would not have gotten on well in the swamp. Like literally wouldn't have made it more than a couple of steps before being stuck at very best. So the decision was made because also of you and Rogar being in heavy armor, and that would have also been very difficult for you. Taraxes is carrying both of you, albeit a little bit grumpily, because you're both very heavy. But you're wearing fucking dwarven plate. He's being a trooper about it, so you're actually okay. Although Rogar, do me perception check. I probably should have had you do an aerial perception check on the
And
first day.
I got Jamie and Quiet Robert to give Sif a bubble bath too.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
No. Like again, you see a few things moving here and there in the swamp, but nothing alarming. As you come towards the end of your second day of travel, and none of you are looking forward to another night sleeping in the swamp after the previous evening, you do spot. Let's say, yeah, I'm not going to make you roll for this because one of you would definitely spot it, and if you wouldn't, then Spoon certainly would. You do spot a faint plume of smoke a little way to your. You came in from the north of the swamp. You've had to travel in something of a southwestern direction, and a bit further to the southwest, you do see a thin plume of smoke rising.
Shoot a fireball at it.
Do it, Cal.
Don't do it.
It's a little way off.
I'd like to cast Improved Fireball. No. So,
Spoons, is it worth investigating?
We ain't that far from the castle. So, if there's anyone out there, probably something to do with it, you know?
Like a forward base or something?
Possibly, yeah.
if only someone could fly up and have a look sneakily.
What's the
Taraxis, can you be sneaky?
It's starting to get dark. I'd say it's pretty good.
Okay.
Of course, that works both ways. You know, the harder it is for them to see you, the more difficult it'll be for you to spot anything. So,
Hang on. Taraxis, bring your face down here for a moment.
Does Traxxas speak? Yeah, no, that's fine.
I'll say in Draconic, so
Yeah, and Traxxas kind of looks to you for approval, Rogar.
Or nod at Traxxas. That's
Okay. Traxxas kind of lumbers over to you, Ruri.
I will. I've got a new flavor for this. I'll put a hand in my pocket and bring out a handful of shadows, and I will blow them on his face, and I will cast Blessing of the Trickster.
Okay. And Traxxas starts to sneeze a little bit. Rogar, he has poisoned me.
Oh no! A mighty Traxxas brought down by a pocket full of shadows.
No, shut up. You don't know what shadows can do.
It's fine, Thanaxis. It will make you stealthier. Be easy to hide in the clouds.
He's just gonna look to you again, Rogar, just kind of questioningly.
Maybe it's. Do you think it'd be better for him to go alone or me on his back? Asking the group meta though.
I'd send him on his own.
I mean, you being on his back won't affect the stealth roll in any way.
Okay. I'll get on his back and I will fly up, and I'll go up high first, and then I will.
Yeah,
Go
so
up.
you're going to kind of try to go up, get above, and then slowly come down.
Yeah.
I get you, yeah, so by coming down directly above, you're hoping it's... I guess you're going on the principle that any guards are going to be more likely to be looking out rather than straight up.
Yeah.
Tactics, mate. It's
That's
tactics.
that's smart. Okay, so yeah, do a little stealth check with Taraxes with advantage for the blessing.
Okay.
But obviously, this tactic, this approach is going to affect the DC. So
Okay, so advantage, and Traxxas doesn't have any stealth, so I guess it's just straight.
just
deck.
straight dex, yeah. It's a good thing that you've it's good that you chose that approach. That's all I'll say. So you kind of fly up and get to a point where you're pretty sure you're above this plume of smoke, and you begin to come down slowly in tight little circles. And we're going to say that you left Gortrek because that makes this easier for Traxxas to do. So as you're doing that, also make me a perception check as yourself. Now, the advantage you get from being airborne is cancelled out by the low light and just poor visibility of the swamp, so just a straight perception. Okay, that's good.
As I
So-
leave, Gotrek is sinking slowly in the mud.
I will show you what you see,
Oh shit, son!
because that's going to be easy in describing it. Oh, this is going to be really annoying. Fuck. Okay.
Are you trying
Hopefully,
to show me?
well, hopefully this won't reveal anything to you. There we go.
Shit's black, yo.
Is shit still black?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. No, that's good actually, because it means that only you will see it right now. So if we just put you here, this is
Okay,
what
I
you can
see
see.
Holy shit! I see everything. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, spicy.
Okay, so
Spicy meatball. Okay, I will.
there you go. That's what you saw.
Okay, wow. Okay, and I will go back.
Return to the party.
Fly away.
So yeah, it only takes you another minute to just return the same way, just fly straight up, and then return down. Spoon's kind of stare. Well, what did you see? What were we looking at?
It looks like 6 to 7 humanoids, green skin, scaly. Maybe those lizard people you were talking about.
You have them little frills on their edge.
Yes.
Yeah, lizard folk.
What are they like? Are they likely to attack?
Grishnak,
Yep.
do me a nature or survival check, your choice.
Okay, which ones? We'll go survival. I'm a bit better with that.
I mean, you know a little bit about lizard folk. There were some that lived in the High Moor. On that roll, not a lot. I'm afraid.
Apparently, if they touch you, your willy falls off.
You do know that. Yep, you know them to be amphibious beings. You know, happy in the water and on land. You know that they are generally fairly primal, a bit primitive. They tend to shun outsiders. It's about all you can really remember. You didn't really have much dealings with them.
I mean, it's been a long time since I lived in the High Moor.
It has been a while. It's been like 15 or so years. So yeah, you don't remember too much of them. Beg pardon.
So I ask Spoons again. So is it worth just going around?
Well,
You know.
we're going to have to rest up pretty soon. I mean, what did it look like? What were you looking like in terms of, were they just hanging out there? Did they just, like, they had themselves a little fire set up? Did they have...
It looked like a camp. I could see what looked like tents.
I mean, they might have some decent solid ground to rest up on.
But they've done nothing wrong.
Yet,
Are we just gonna go and
claim their
kill-
land?
Yeah,
It seems unethical.
it does.
Well, I mean, we could attempt to parlay, and then if they attack us then, we'll fuck them up.
Why
I
don't
can do
we,
that.
No. Why don't we send Spoons in? He's such a democratic type.
I'm not really what you call a socialite.
Look, let's just
Okay,
keep an
Oscar.
eye- let's keep an eye on them and just. We know they're there. We'll make sure we're keeping watch. Let's not light any fires. Attract them to us.
Okay, so you're gonna bed down where you are.
Question.
Yes.
Would my all-weather cloak protect me from the shitty swamp water ground?
I mean, a bit.
That's right then. I was going to ask it earlier, but I have got it on. One
Didn't
luxurious
need
all-weather
to do
cloak.
that. King
It's alright, I don't say
20.
anything.
No, that's fine. You shouldn't.
Oh, another map.
It's the
Or is it
main.
the same map?
It's the same map.
Okay. I was zoomed out completely then. I was like, oh, a new map. Nope.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Cool.
No, we can just rest up here. Hope they don't come in and check out this way.
We'll be extra vigilant.
I just wonder what they're doing so close to the castles, all. But
What do you? I think it's
Wait.
worth investigating.
Well, yeah, why don't we find out before we go to bed?
it's up to you guys. I'm just a
And
guide.
then if they're up to no good, we do them in, and then we've got somewhere nice to sleep.
Hold on. What about Rory sending his dupe in and
then
hiding?
what?
But can you not?
You can't see.
He can't speak. I'm trying to teach him to sing, but it's taking a while. But
Like,
he
you
can't speak.
can't see through his eyes either, can you?
When I was thinking,
No.
get close, hide behind a tree. Do the
Send in the dupe and see what happens.
yeah.
Well, surely if he goes in alone, then in their primal savage, they're just going to attack. Could we not go in with shock and awe, much like the kobolds?
Maybe. Oh, can I? I could disguise myself as a big, beefy lizard folk.
You could actually, yeah. Does disguise self change your voice or just your appearance?
It doesn't change my voice, but I do have thaumaturgy and prestidigitation.
You do, yeah. So, are you approaching the camp?
I'm running it past my allies first. What do we think?
What do people think?
Like not just me. Like if we all go together, but we pretend that I'm the leader.
Sure.
Yeah. I was gonna say we do have my bird
Yeah.
as well that I can send in.
You also have that?
Oh yeah, let's see if they eat the bird first.
Yeah.
I think I'd recommend more that he can actually see through the bird's senses.
Oh, of course, yes, of course. All right, go check. I'll after you, please.
I will send Noctiscardi to have a peek and act like a normal crow.
Okay, so you're going to send Scardy
Don't
into the
be
camp.
Suspicious. Don't
Yeah,
be
don't-
suspicious.
Yeah,
Let's try this
just one with the swamp.
again.
Actually, there is one thing. Let me just quickly check. My
Are there any
spell.
ogres in the?
Ah, do you know what I'm gonna do?
What?
I'm gonna do flock of familiars.
How long does that
God.
last for?
1 hour.
Okay.
So
Is this multiple Scardies?
multiple Scardies.
So how many Scardies?
I'm casting it at level 3.
So is that 3 Scardies?
That is.
Am I the only
God, I'm
person
just-
who? when
you temporarily
offers
summon
familiar
3
support,
familiar
then?
spirits to take on the animal form. So it's 3.
Yep. Okay, so you're sending 3
When you
Scardies over.
cast this using higher level, you
An addition,
conjure
so
an
it's 4.
additional, so it's 4 Scardies.
4 Scardies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that including original recipe Scardy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's including
Cool.
Right. So, yeah, you are approaching. Hang on. Let me just.
and making
This
a
is
small
much better than my
murder.
idea.
So yeah,
Murder of
you're
Scardy.
approaching from the northeast. So I've just put your 4 Scardies up there. Move them as you will. Although I will need you to do a stealth check. Just one stealth check for all 4 Scardies, depending on how close you want to get them.
I just want to make them act like a murder of crows. In all fairness,
Sure.
but I can do stealth. Stealth.
Yeah, you'll
This is
need
the
to
first
do.
time you've used this spell.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's just an 11, yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
So, but I want them to land on this tree.
Okay, so it is more of a stump than a full tree.
Oh, it's full. Oh, okay.
Okay, so you do see that this one here does kind of look over at them as they land. Does look at them with a little bit of a hungry expression in his eyes. You see a little bit of a licking of lips,
Main Scardy's just gonna go. Caw!
but he's not really. He's just kind of eyeing them. As he's kind of looking wistfully at your birds, you do hear. I'm assuming you are looking through Scardy's senses right now.
Yeah.
You do hear a call, a kind of reptilian croak from over the other side of the camp. Looking over, there is another group of lizard folk approaching. These ones appear to be carrying crates, large crates, kind of slung, not slung, but you know how you kind of put something over your shoulder to carry it?
Yeah.
Lizardmen, they look quite, they're fairly strong. They're comparable in size to Grishnak and Rogar, a little bit smaller, and they hunch more. But, they're big, physical creatures. So they've got these large crates over each shoulder as they're approaching. One of them doesn't appear to be carrying a crate, but rather a reasonable, like medium-sized cage. And inside it, do me a perception check with the Scardies, please.
Okay.
Do they have advantage on their perception checks or not?
I
That's a
don't
good band
believe
name, the Scardies.
The
the
Scardies.
And they've only got the mimicry.
Yep, so they don't have like keen sight.
No.
15. Okay. There's a small reptilian creature inside this cage. It almost looks like a dragon, but it's like the size of a cat. And it seems to be it's like turning round and round and kind of making a bit of a pitiful mewing sound almost.
Oh.
As these things approach through the swamp towards the camp.
Oh shit.
I would say also with that perception, with that 15, one of the Scardies does make out on one of the lizard folk closest to it. The crates has all the crates seem to have this little marking on it, and you can just make out from the one closest to you. The marking seems to be almost of like this. Almost looks like a hand with all fingers splayed out.
Sort of like what? So it's like an open hand with a blade in it.
It's tricky to tell, to be honest, from the distance and through a raven's eyes. But it's either like a hand with all just like the palm with all 5 fingers like splayed open, or maybe it's like a head with 5 horns or something. It does tickle something in your brain somewhere. Almost like you've seen it before.
Okie dokie. In which case, then they are gonna take off as their small little. I don't know how many crows required to be a murder. But this will be my murder. They will fly over quite high and just kind of glide over.
Just going to do a flyby.
Yeah, just to get a closer mark. And they're going to be not like, oh god, do you know when they're like diving in between, just kind of making themselves harder to hit and seeing more natural instead of in formation.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so you're not really able to make out much more in the way of detail. You know, the mark on the side of the crate does seem like a kind of roughly daubed paint mark, rather than like a fine, detailed image. But yeah, going past it does seem maybe like it's meant to be more like a five-horned head.
Okay, and then they're just gonna fly around, act natural, and then do like a once over, and then fly back.
Okay.
And they're just gonna land on Gotrix, like one on each shoulder and 2 on his head.
Okay then.
Nice.
It's like, well, they got crates and a lot of stuff, and a little dragon as well.
What?
I don't know what it was, but it was like a little thing, like the size of a cat.
A baby dragon?
Baby dragon.
I don't think a baby dragon is about that big. I mean, those eggs, it was half the size of an egg. Would you say the egg?
Eggs were a lot bigger than that.
Like maybe 1/5 of the size.
Gotrek, do me an intelligence check. Or no, do me nature.
Nature.
That's basically an intelligence check for you. I don't think you've got proficiency in nature.
No, I do not. Oh no, I'm not proficient, but still.
Hey!
Oh, so you do actually know what that was. It was a pseudo dragon.
Oh, okay. Aye, it was a pseudo dragon. My mind, it was open.
What would they be doing with crates and a pseudo dragon?
Crate.
So close to the castle.
You say you're a crate.
Aye, the crates had what looked to be a really piss-poorly drawn face, and I'm just gonna grab a stick around and kind of do my best impression on the dirt.
Okay. Yeah, anyone who wants to can make an intelligence check as you look down at this.
I would love to.
Knowing how terrible Gotrek drawing is.
There it is again, a
Oh,
+1,
man.
whatever.
Hey man, I'm not that bad. I mean,
Hey man.
I'm not that bad. I'm just gonna check if I've got any cantrips to.
Ruri, be totally honest here. Who did you show that little bounty letter that you had from Waterdeep? Who did you show that to? Did you show it to everyone?
Rogar.
Just Rogar.
Yeah.
Okay. It's so you and Rogar. It's really niggling at you. Though you know you've seen this before.
Bounty.
Why does this symbol make me sweat?
Is it to do with the cult?
I'm just wondering why they'd be carrying crates through here when we're so close to the castle.
Maybe.
Are they taking it to the castle?
Didn't Gary Ellie say something about some... Like, weren't you trying to find out what happened to some caravan or something?
Yes, when we went back to the hideout, they'd taken all the treasure and they'd left. We saw caravan tracks.
And that caravan stopped at that place where the massacre happened. Is that what she was saying?
Yes.
Just throwing it out there. We're more or less directly east of that place right now.
This could be the hoard that they had in the cave.
Or some of it.
So,
Just a quick question: what do we know as characters of lizard folk? What's the scope of
Not a
knowledge?
lot. Yeah, I would say lizard folk keep to themselves. So I would say I'm going to rule that the only one of the group who would really know anything about them is Grishnak, and he got a 9 on his check to see what he remembers about them. So you don't know much about them. Primitive creatures that tend to keep to themselves.
I would not want to storm in and just massacre these lizard folk. If they've just found these crates, then they've done nothing wrong.
It's always possible. Maybe they found a cultist carrying a crate and they killed them.
Or the cult could have paid them off.
Or that.
I guess we'll never know until we ask.
Alright then. We headed over there then.
I think so.
No
Guess we
time
have
at
to.
present.
What are you two metal boys doing then?
Maybe we'll all fly down and intimidatingly.
I
Hover
have
above.
feather fall so that we can actually jump off and land safely.
That's very good because I forgot how to use that spell.
How could you forget?
All right, then.
I'm sorry. I needed lightning. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
So, Gortrek and Rogar, you're going to go above on Taraxes and be like do an aerial insertion.
Air squadron.
What's the plan? Are you just going to fly in straight up, or are you going to wait for a signal or something?
Wait for a signal, and I think it'd be cool to maybe land and just be like, "Yeah, bitch."
Can Taraxis hold Gotrek in his talons and just be like an airdrop, like?
This is
We
possible,
were saying
yeah.
we could tie him to a rope and make him like a wrecking ball.
You came in like a wrecking ball.
If you scroll up, there's Santa on a wrecking ball. That's you.
Okay, then. So, you two are going to go above. I will put you guys on the map so that you can just... I'm going to just put you down in the bottom corner, just so you can see what's going on. Oof.
Yes.
Oh my god, put Tarax's health back up. We seem to have
What's happened
forgotten
there?
his. It's obviously down from where he was in the Remor's fight. The rest of you approaching on foot. Do me a stealth check, everyone who's coming in on foot. I'm going to say you two flying in above. You're not come in yet enough to trigger that.
Dun, 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 dun.
Fucking hell, Grishnak.
Leroy Jenkins.
It's okay. Wait a second. Let's see what...
Push snacks like gamboling, stealth rolling, hitting trees.
Thank God for Supreme Sneak.
So
Okay.
can I send my
Krishnak very
murderer
briefly
clothes
turns
in
into
ahead first and kind of put them over here?
Yeah, you've still got them about. You can do that.
Where did they go? Did you delete them?
I did, but you can put them back out.
Oh.
That was wrong.
Yeah, not that one.
Hello, Mr. Map.
I'm the
Do,
map.
do, do. So, Grishnak, as you're trying to approach carefully, you do slip and fall full on, like face first, into a bit of the swamp. Kind of a little bit of a frenzied splash to pull yourself out. I'd say, Gotrek, you would notice this looking through your familiar's eyes. It does attract a bit of attention. Several of the lizard folk do spin around, staring in the direction that you guys are approaching from. However, did it as a group check. Luckily, everyone else passed quite well, and they do seem to they look suspicious, but then do turn back to whatever conversation is going on as they're kind of looking over the crates and everything. Get the impression that maybe you've been able to pass this off as just some swamp wildlife splashing around in the water nearby. And Spoons just glares at you, so it does an exaggerated shh gesture.
It's just swampy things.
So, let's just get rid of that now. Yeah, so as you guys approach, that's what you can see. How do you want to do this? How do you want to approach this one?
You know, I just thought of something.
Oh god.
Question. Sending, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've got to see them to do the sending.
You've got to be familiar with them.
Oh, I can't just say like, because I've seen, say...
I mean, I'd say seeing someone is enough, yeah. When I say
can
be
also do
familiar with them,
message.
you either need to know like either a name or have like a good physical
connection with them.
yeah, you need to know what they look like. You need to know who you're sending to.
Oh, okay.
You could send to them, yeah.
As I was going to say, what I could say is...
What languages do you speak?
Obviously, all of them. Yeah. Common, Dwarven, and Terran.
I just need to check if language matters for a sending spell.
I believe we have to know one common language together.
Let's check. While I check, everyone else, how are you approaching the situation? Also, strictly speaking, yeah, your vision's a little bit marred at the moment as well because of how high up you are.
I'm guessing the right answer isn't cast a fireball in the middle of them all.
Okay, you don't need to know their language
Oh, okay.
as long as they're intelligent.
So I could just send them.
Are they intelligent though?
Friend up. Well, if they
Relatively.
put up tents and have made a fire.
And they're doing an illegal deal, you know.
Foot squad. What's the plan?
Right.
What is plan? So I'll help get Grishnak to his feet.
Right, well, I think
Work
we
some
need
of the-
to
Yeah, you
make
go on,
it
mate.
over to some sort of cover. How tall is that rock?
If you were low to the ground, spoons could hide behind it. You would have to be lying down.
Okay. I'm assuming that tree branch is completely flat and would have to climb over it.
Yeah, that is. So basically, all terrain around here. No, so there's enough solid ground here. So the grass isn't difficult terrain. If you wanted to go through the water, it's shallow enough, but it would obviously be difficult terrain. You can go across the tree, the fallen tree here, and here. And that one
Question.
there. And then obviously
God.
that one down there. So yeah, essentially they're fallen trees that are bridging.
I like how
bits of
Rory
water.
thinks that I'm going to come up with something really terrible that's going to get us
Just
killed.
every time someone says question, I get triggered.
Question. Tell me what you think. No. Did Trek tell us that the dude looked at Scardy like he was hungry or not?
Did you tell him that, Gotrek? No?
No, but because obviously I'm still in the air, I could use.
No, if you haven't, I'm not going to suggest what I was going to suggest.
No, not yet.
Because if you had, I got a plan. But you haven't, and I'm not going to be that guy.
I do have a question though, DM.
Mm-hmm.
So if I am seeing through the eyes of the Skardis,
Yes.
am I also able to cast a spell, or does that negate it? What's the thing with?
I mean, I think it worked with familiars.
Is it if the Skardis can see where the spell is, then
You can cast a spell with a touch range through your familiar.
But can I do sending while seeing through Scardy? That's the kind of thing I'm asking. Because it's never really just said of only it's touch spells.
Let me check.
so
I
I
also will
do
make a note
range
of that for
spells
later.
through the dew, if that helps.
Yeah, you can.
I'm not sure if
You're
that
sending it
makes
through
sense.
Scardy, though, don't you have to do it with a stupid bird voice?
Hang on.
I don't know, because you're not.
It's a range of touch.
No,
isn't
it says, yeah, when you cast a spell with a range of touch, your familiar can deliver the spell as if it had cast a spell. It doesn't say anything about any other spells, and specific
Right.
overrules vague, so yeah, no, it's got to be a touch spell.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you.
You could cast a heal through him, though.
Yeah, that's the whole reason why I got Flock of Familiars.
Little healing touch.
Heal everyone.
What
Yeah,
were you
pretty
thinking,
much.
Ruri?
Touch.
I was just thinking, if I do pass without a trace on our crew up here,
Yes.
it could help us hide somewhere a bit closer.
Yeah. Obviously, as you did a group stealth check as you were approaching. To get any closer, it's going to be done on an individual basis. So
Yeah, that's why I said
any
pass without a
fails is going to
trace.
alert them. Yeah, pass that trace always works.
What do you think, boys?
Yeah.
Let's get a bit closer. See if we
What's
can
the
overhear
plan?
what the
I mean,
plan. Okay, so we're trying to figure out if they're bad boys or not, right?
Ah, okay.
So shall I charisma my way up there?
how big is this stone? This one looks bigger,
It's a bit bigger. Yeah, you'd need to crouch behind that one.
but I'd be able to hide behind it.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, because I worked out that'd be just my movement to get behind there.
15, 20, 25.
Grishnak planking behind stones.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Yeah, you could get to there with your movement.
Okay, but my stealth shit, right?
So,
Just give
Ruri,
me
were
one-
you
I
doing
can do
past that
pass without
trace?
if you want. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Right, Cal, Grishnak, Spoons, everyone hold hands.
You
I look
see
at spoons.
Spoons is looking up to you with this kind of butter wouldn't melt in his mouth expression, holding his hand up to you. Come on,
Spoons is
cow.
great.
I don't bite.
Can I stand by you, Rory?
Of course you can. Yeah, I'll hold Spoon's hand.
Yep.
Fucking
Yeah, I'll
spoons.
take Spoons' other hand.
Fucking spoons.
We're going to petition for Spoons to become a permanent member.
It's actually adorable. It's the point because Rory, you're not short yourself, so Spoons at the moment is actually his feet are off the ground. They're just swinging slightly. It's like a child hanging between
Stop
two
making
adults.
him nice, motherfucker.
You're just hanging from Rory and Grishnak.
It's really growing up, you know.
Stop making him care about Spoons.
So yeah, he's just there. This Cal comes in here. So you're doing pass out a trace. So that's a plus 10 for all of your dex checks. So who's moving where?
Right. Yes, I think I'm going to try and move behind this rock.
Okay, Grishnak, stealth
Yeah.
check, please.
Okay.
Add 10.
Right. Don't be shit.
Why have we got this really strange
Okay.
dynamic lighting shit going on? Where?
It's just on the
It's
logs.
a big tree.
It's a module map. So
Okay.
okay, so Grishnak, that's actually an 18.
Is that going to be enough?
You don't seem to get their attention. They seem, at the moment, they seem more engrossed. Even the ones out on watch, they seem a bit more engrossed with the new arrivals. A lot of them are kind of looking at this cage with the little pseudo dragon in and kind of prodding it through the bars with long fingers. So yeah, 18 is enough. Cal, where are you moving?
I'm assuming, being a small person, I can crouch behind that rock.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Right before he
Although
goes, I give him
yeah.
Blessing of the Trickster.
Or-
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
I'll-
right because you went with half plate, so normally you've got disadvantage on stealth. This would make it normal. So normal
Right,
stealth
well,
check
yeah.
It's normal
plus
plus
10.
now.
I will try and see what it goes. Whoomp.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
nice 30.
30.
Rory,
Where did he go?
where are you moving?
Fucking ninja.
It was a bit of a ninja
Could-
run.
Am I able to hide like by the side of the log? Is it tall enough?
You could kind of so you see here where it kind of curves in a little bit. I'd say if you got in, you're quite slender, you're quite lithe and everything. You could
Nah,
kind of press yourself up against it. Yep.
I would love to do that. If
So
I
you
could.
watch Cal Naruto run down to behind this stone, and you sneak up behind him. 28
28.
total. Yep.
That wasn't me, by the way. I'm not measuring.
Glancing back,
Because if I was measuring, I'd be going like this. Right, so if I drop it on that cunt, there.
Don't hit the
there,
dragon.
There. Oh, don't worry, I'm already thinking about not hitting that dragon. Get him. We wouldn't get him. I'm like, yeah, death. Sorry.
yeah, I'm just gonna say he's gonna.
You know, I think Cal should have been the one on Tarax. He's quite literally dropped fireballs on top of him.
But like Apocalypse Now or some shit.
Yeah. If any of you,
Right.
if any of you were to glance back, you can't see Spoons anywhere.
Oh my god. That's not worrying at all.
Nothing gets hit by Spoons because he's never there. Well, nothing hits Spoons because he's never there.
That's the plan. Right. So what's happening next?
Damn good
Can I
question.
see them?
You can't. I'd say you can. If you look up, you can just make out Taraxes, like barely, but only because you know he's there. There's
Yeah.
not much visibility between you guys. If you're going to send him a signal, it's either going to need to be like a message spell, or it's
Well, I
going
was
to
going
need
to
to.
do a message, yeah.
Or you're going to need to
I
do
need to
something
see.
quite visible. I'd say you can just. You don't need to see. If you know where your target is, I'm pretty sure the spell says, as long as you know their general direction.
Grishnak's gonna like motion towards Cal, point towards like the middle of like everything, and then just make sort of like a.
I just imagine Rory just in the middle of this, just shaking his head.
Shrug his shoulders as in like, what do you think?
Hang on,
Credence,
can I-
Water
I'll put
Revival
up a
starts
single
happening in the
finger.
background.
Let me put up a single finger, and then I'll point to the middle of the crowd. And then, do we have a sign for two Rorys? I'll make my finger into two. I'll spread my two fingers apart and go, huh? Huh?
It's like, are you fucking flipping me off? What?
You know what? I'm just gonna summon Rory 2 into the midst.
What are you saying?
See what
Okay.
happens.
So Duke Rory
Here we
is going to
go.
appear right there.
Yeah, let me just make sure that that's in range for my spell. Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's like, this isn't going to end badly, is it?
So
random thing appearing.
there is a moment where suddenly, like for a moment, they don't notice him, and then there's just a moment where all discussion, like that. I'd say, Ruri, you can make out they're talking in Draconic. Cal and Grishnak, you can't understand what's being said.
Cal can.
Oh, great, Cal, yeah, you can. So yeah, they're talking Draconic. All conversation stops, and they slowly turn and look at the dupe before the one nearest just lashes at it.
He pretends to fall over.
Okay, so lashes out with a heavy club, and you're just going to have Ruri just collapse over.
Yeah, it just
Do
falls
me
over.
a performance check for fake Ruri.
Okay. 29.
He got a nat 1 on its insight.
I've been
Nice.
struck.
Okay, so as you fall to the ground,
I've
and there's
fallen and
kind
I
of
can't get up.
there's a wave of like cheers and kind of triumphant guttural noises, and they begin to cluster around the fallen Ruri. You see a couple of them bringing out long bladed knives.
I'll turn around to Cal and give him a double thumbs up.
Okay.
Back on the menu.
Looks like meat's back on the menus, boy.
Are
Menus,
we
boy.
looking at murdering these guys now? Because
Why not?
a
to be
trespasser
fair-
came into their camp
Oh, fuck.
unannounced, and
Didn't need to do that.
They didn't
Oh,
have to do
shit.
that. They could have, give it
Yeah,
the
that
cute.
was the test, and they
They
failed.
could have given it the cute one sort of lopsided dog sort of look and gone, oh, a person. But they chose to try and strike him down.
I mean, what
Yeah, that was
would you
the
do in that
test.
situation?
I'd say, yo fam, what the fuck are you doing in my camp?
That's bullshit. You
One skinny boy, and they have to kill him. No, they could have captured him, but they chose to attack him. That's very rude, if you ask me.
Okay, Cal, what are you doing? You got the thumbs up from Ruri.
Light him up.
Line 'em up like a 4th of
Line
July.
'em up.
Okay, he's out of range. Yeah.
How close are we to the castle before we make an explosion?
Oh god, yeah.
I'll cast it silently.
You can't cast.
Oh, I forgot you were a sorcerer.
I cast Fireball quietly.
I would say this is. It's reasonable to say this is something that you would have double checked with Spoons. He estimates that you were up anywhere from half a day to a day from the castle.
Oh,
Fair enough.
Now,
That's fine.
it's worth bearing in mind that obviously your travel speed is much reduced through, so that doesn't necessarily mean it's as far as it would normally be in open terrain.
also,
I would say you can't see the castle right now.
it's open land as well, so they could potentially see a huge light erupt.
It's getting dark. You can't see the castle. You can't see any lights on the horizon. It is quite foggy. It's a bit of you're not sure.
I'm not
What
even.
would Cal do?
I'm flying.
What would Cal do? What is Cal doing?
Don't worry about getting this guy in, because I can actually reach him.
I think he's
I
more
know, to be
worried about.
fair,
Focus on
I'm
the
more worried
guy.
about the dragon, so that's why I was sort of measuring from over here, because I don't want to hit him.
Hang on, we've got a thing
Um,
for this, Cal.
No, I know I have, but I don't want to put it down until I'm ready.
I do. Is that where you want it?
Yeah, boy. This shit's fucking. Is this shit going down? Oh, is this shit going down? Or.
We talking
oh,
there?
hold
I mean, to be
on, hold
honest-
on. I've got a better idea. Got a better idea. Hold on.
God, come on, I lined them all up.
Just want to work something out. Hold on. Ah! My fucking mouse isn't working.
Oh wait, hang on.
Suspense is
Okay.
killing
It's not
me.
working.
Okay.
is it?
Okay. How long does
Yes,
it last,
thank
though?
you.
I had it on the
I
GM
don't
and I
know.
hadn't even realised.
Ah, sweet.
Got all that.
Hold on. How long does it last?
Oh man,
How long does what last?
Up to 1 minute. Okay.
Kasuth's gonna jizz in his pants.
5d8. Okay, so I'm not gonna use Fireball
Okay.
because loud bang. What I'm gonna do is I will cast in a
Oh, this is-
5-foot circle from Rory, from the dupe. I will cast Wall of Fire.
Okay. Are you
And
essentially
I will
using it
make-
to just create a box of fire?
No, I'm using it to burn those motherfuckers to death.
Okay.
because you create the flame whichever side of the wall you want. Now, regardless of which side I create the fire on, all of those fuckers surrounding Rory are getting burnt to fuck.
So basically, you're going like that.
So, have we got a smaller sphere?
We don't have a template for it. I
Okay,
mean,
well,
Maybe use the 5 and make it a 15.
Let me see if this works. Hold on. How does that look? Okay. Yeah, that.
Oh,
that
that's
works.
my lightning square.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, so
what
you
I'll do
essentially
is
wanna do
I'll
that.
Effectively, yeah, cast that there, but obviously a bit smaller, and just like wall of fire those motherfuckers
Like
to
that.
death.
Okay, cool.
So
Is that roll to
I don't
hit?
think. Yeah, I don't think it has to roll
That's
to hit. I
not
think
right.
No, it doesn't.
No, I think I've fucked around with the spell, so I just need.
When
to
the wall
say
roll
that.
appears, each creature within its area must make a dex saving throw. On a failed save, creature takes 5d8 fire damage or half as much damage on a successful save. Okay then, so a bunch of dex saves for the lizard folk. You want to click and see what damage this is going to do?
29.
29. Okay, so
Right.
top to bottom, left to right. What's the DC? 16.
16, yeah.
Fail. 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 Pass. Fail. So what's
This is
half
such good
of...
teamwork.
So it's 29. What's half of 20?
14.
Such good
Yes,
murder work.
14. Okay, so let's get rid of that for a second. So 14 off of that. That's 12. Okay.
Murder work makes the dream work.
All right. So as a sudden
Yeah, boy.
kind of almost cube, or at least like the walls of a cube of fire, just roar up around Rory's dupe, or kind of like centered on the point, just roar out from Rory's
5
dupe,
flame charges.
just obliterating 5 of the lizardmen around it, and severely burning
And
the one left standing. Looks very badly hurt. Can everyone now please roll initiative?
well, would they know where that's come from though? Was only
Not
Rory's
necessarily.
dupes in
We're
view?
gonna, not necessarily, but I will still need to
Still
have
got
initiative order at this point.
Yeah.
Yes.
So after they all die, can the dupe like look at that last one and just like run a thumb across his throat?
We'll see. Maybe.
You're next.
Right, I just need to deal with a spider emergency because my daughter is being a numpty.
Oh, I know
so-
all about that one. Amount of spiders I've had to rescue in the last week.
Rescue. Oh, good.
Well, one of them did die, and I felt really, really bad about it. So all the others have been rescued.
Oh.
Have you started a colony in the garden?
No, I walk them across the street and leave them outside the garages.
Oh, good.
Well, then I can assure my girlfriend they're not going to come back in the flat. But I don't have to worry about them being out in the cold and wind.
Boys, this is crazy.
Okay.
How big is the cage that the dragon's in?
Small.
Small.
You know, like the dragon, it's like a foot long kind of thing. So the cage itself is like, it's like big fish. You know, big fish, little fish.
Cardboard fish. Yeah.
It's cardboard box basically.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, not very big. All right. Right, everyone's rolled. So we don't need to wait for Cal to get back because he's right down in initiative order. So first things first. We will have. You guys, bear with me just 1 second. The certain somebody
ready,
is
Brishnak?
acting.
I'm ready.
14, 7. Not quite gonna do it. Let's just see. Yeah, that will. So, yeah, Ruri, you don't quite see this because I say that Orgrish and 10 is blocking. Cal, you do notice this one here just keels over,
I'm sorry. Oh, okay.
just drops to the floor. Can't quite make out in the low light what happened.
Nice. Oh, I wonder who that was.
And then he's going to... No, he's going to remain that. And just for the sake of it, we'll do a little... Yep, he's good. I'm guessing past that trace is still up.
Yes.
Okay, Ruri, you're up.
So many choices. So first of all, I guess. Can I walk across this tree trunk?
You can, yeah.
Yeah,
I'd say it's
so I'll
broad
go
enough.
I guess I'll go sort of just to there, so that I'm counting this as what is it? Hard terrain. Difficult
Yeah,
terrain.
that difficult terrain over the water. Branches
Yep,
are a little bit
so
too
I will-
thin to walk
No
over.
worries. So I'll do a Toll the Dead at this one near the dupe.
Okay. Wisdom save for him.
No.
Yes.
It's an 18.
Fucking it. Okay. And then so I will also do. I'm getting out all the tokens. Going to do a spirit weapon.
Spiritual weapon. Go for
Yes,
it.
with Rory 2. And I'm gonna swing for the same one.
Okay.
Hell.
That's gonna miss. As
I'm really good at this.
you reach out with Toll the Dead, and it just seems to kind of clutches at its head, but just glares at you. And as Ruri 2 swings with the scythe, it just ducks below it.
Cool. I guess
Wow,
I'll just
you rolled
stand
a
here in
2,
harm's
man.
way.
That is unlucky.
I know.
Okay, Grishnak, you're up.
Okay, so I have calculated that 40 feet, with that being difficult terrain, I can get just up to this fucker.
Yeah, I trust you.
Based on the position of the moon and the sun.
So you go leaping over the rock, vault over the river.
I will go into a rage
Rage.
and
A
give
rage.
him a big old swing with the axe.
Go for it. That'll hit.
Okay.
For 13 damage.
13. And then come back again with the axe.
Definitely hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
19.
Cut him down in short order. Okay.
And that'll be me.
All right then. So, the lizard folk.
I had such a good plan for not entering combat, by the way. I don't know what happened.
So these ones over here are going to run over towards you, Grishnak. Seeing you cut that guy down. In fact, he's going to
You got this.
scoot around. This guy's going to start running up, and then going to see you there, and is going to. Actually, he can see Rui, so he's going to start heading that way.
Bring it.
Oh, is he going through the wall?
Oh, that wall's still
Yeah.
there, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
But if he
Oh,
went here, would he be affected by it?
Yeah, because the wall was across those squares.
Right. In which case, then he's not so stupid as to do that.
Oh, no, actually, was the wall there?
No, it's centered on Rory, so it's like 3 by 3 on with the dupe in the center, isn't it?
Yeah, no,
No,
they're
there's
not
a
actually going to
20
want
foot-
to. Well, if it's the point is, if the
20
wall's
foot
still
cube.
there, they're going to not want anything to do with that. So he's actually going to stop there. These ones are going to step up just a little bit, move around.
Ooh, a little bit more.
So, and this guy who started his turn near the wall, so I guess he's going to take the damage again. Is that how it works? Or ends its
Actually,
turn
I might
there.
be lying.
No,
Yeah,
it's when he ends his
turn
turn there. So this one is just going to scurry backwards, away from the wall. Okay, so Duke Brewery is going to have 5
Which one
javelins
just
coming
scurried
towards
back?
it.
Sorry, because it ends its turn within 10 feet of the wall, takes
Within
damage.
10 feet of the wall.
Yeah.
Okay, then
If
yeah,
that-
all of
if
them are
that's
going
the
to
case, then that
stay.
dragon's gonna die.
Yeah, I've just realised that.
Can we drop it?
Cal can drop it on his turn. Yeah,
You can drop concentration at any point, can't you? Or maybe that's a.
I think it's on your turn. Well, in which case, I'm going to say then that none of them, if they could feel that heat, they're staying away from it. All right, so yeah, 5 javelins towards Duke Brewery because they still haven't quite figured that one out. 1 towards Real Brewery
Okay.
from the one directly south of you. Where is it? There it is. That's 12 to hit you.
Miss.
And a couple. 1 heavy. Oh no. Yeah. So Grishnak, you've got a couple of heavy clubs and a couple of bites coming at you. So they're each going to try a club. So that's 16. You didn't reckless, did you?
I did reckless.
You did
yeah.
reckless. Then that's a 23.
Yeah, it's gonna hit.
So that's 7 bludgeoning. Halved
Is
to
that halved?
3. And then coming in with a bite. That's a nat 20 on its bite.
Fuck.
But it's another 7, half to 3. So you've only taken 6 so far.
Strong
Nice.
boys.
Yeah.
And then the other heavy club. is another nat 20
Yeah.
for another 7 after 3.
Are you just getting me back for last week now?
I mean, not really, dude. You've only taken 9 damage so far.
That's a lot
and
for him, though.
holy fucking shit, another nat 20 for 6 after 3. I am not even joking.
It's an algorithm.
Was that for another 3, did you?
Yeah, so basically 3 damage off each one. Wow, that was ridiculous. I will upload that afterwards.
So I took 3 nat 20s and took 12 points of damage.
Basically, yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you weren't raging, that would have been a different story. That would have been 27
love
points of
to see
damage.
it.
But yeah, you do. Well, you do. No, it's good. I mean, to be fair, if you hadn't gone reckless, you would only have gotten hit once in all of that. But that's barbarians for you. Okay, so that's the lizard folk, but they definitely seem scared of that wall of fire.
Can I have a DC save off this chunky boy that's in range?
Is he still in range of it? All right then, yeah.
10. So it was there to there. It's 10 foot.
Bloody hell.
I mean, technically speaking, like because it's from the edge of that square.
I hate wall of fire, not because
And
it's
that guy.
just
So,
because
like,
of the
these-
fucking headache of trying to work it out. We're just going to say that guy because the
Yeah,
vagueness
just say
of where
that,
it
guy, 'cause
actually
I'm not
is.
that much of a dick.
Okay, well he
I'm not
failed
that
his
much of a
save.
dick.
That's a 14.
If he failed his save, that's a 29.
You've got to
Do the
reroll
damage
damage,
again.
don't you?
Yeah, 5d8.
Do I?
Yeah.
I thought that was just done. I will re-roll. This may or may not be good.
Oh, wow.
Roll 20 doesn't want you to do it.
Roll 20 says no.
Yeah. Roll 10. 20 is like, go fuck your mom. Hold on. So he
16.
was kind. He was kind.
Okay. 12. All right. Yep. It's looking very badly hurt. Very badly.
I genuinely had a plan, by the way. If I hadn't have been away from the desk, I would have told you my plan was to get you to make Dupe Rory shout that he was Kossuth, and by striking him.
Can't talk.
No, but you can do it through
It's fine.
your further
It's fine.
there.
That moment has passed. Rogar.
How high up am I?
You're about 40 foot up.
Oh, okay. Great. So I can get. Where can I get to reasonably without
Like you're
having,
directly above.
Okay. So I can just kind of land.
Yeah, you could.
Does the wall of fire affect friendlies?
I hate this
Yes.
spell. Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Okay, I will land like here then.
Okay, yep. You kind of land crushing part of that tent as you do. Question.
Gotrek is over here as well.
Gotrek was being carried by Taraxes.
Yeah.
So what Taraxes doing is...
Squish.
Just
I think-
drops it.
I think it's more of like
Sitting
a
on top of Gotrek.
it's like a get like a couple of feet away from the ground,
Like a
release,
paratrooper.
and then like
I would say
So-
you could just drop me on top of him and see if I can crush him.
You can try that if you want.
I don't think Traxxas would do that.
Okay, so just kind of a last second. Gotrek,
would-
just do
yeah.
me a quick
Pop
dex
Gotrek
check
like
to
that.
see how... Dex or athletics, I'll say. See if you manage to keep your footing.
I will choose athletics because I'm a natural athlete.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
nah.
So you just land kind of 3 points, 3-point landing, hammer in one hand, shield on your back, just next to these
Is it
two
a
lizard
superhero
folk.
landing?
Yeah, 3-point
Yeah, it's
landing.
Iron Thor.
No, that's bad for the knees. So
Very bad for the knees, but you know. Okay. So yeah, Rogar, it is your turn.
Okay, it's on. Okay, I'm going to hex this guy.
Yep.
So just point at him and give him I don't know, strength. Disadvantage on strength skills.
Yep. Sure.
Anyone wants to grapple him. And
Good to
then
know.
I will call out Valorian.
Yes.
And for anyone paying attention, he's got a fun new visual. It's covered in like rime and is gently smoking, a little bit cold.
yeah, condensation radiating off it. Did anyone
Yeah.
actually? Has anyone gone and looked at the little bonus session that Rogar had?
No.
It's uploaded?
Ah, it is
I didn't know it was
uploaded.
uploaded.
It is uploaded.
Cool.
But yeah, okay, no. So you wouldn't know about this yet.
And I will strike him
Strike him down.
For a fucking 12.
For a
Big 12.
fucking 12. I'm afraid a
Fucking.
12 will miss as it brings up the shield.
What
It's
about
got
a
this.
fucking 12?
It's got a shield that seems like it's almost made of like some kind of shell, and it just is able to parry your blow.
And I will slam him again in anger.
Your second attack that will
15.
just hit.
Okay, fair enough.
Have you added the plus? Yeah, you have.
Yeah, I have, yeah. So I rolled Damagios.
18 points of damage. Oof. Oh, actually, no. 20 points.
20 points of damage.
Jesus, he's barely standing. This one kind of cries out as you cut deep across it as the ice shards start to like freeze up along the wound, and it falls staggering backwards. It's barely standing.
I will get Traxxas to roar and then try and bite it.
Okay.
Yes.
12.
That will miss.
And then he's going to come around and try and whip him with his tail.
Same one?
Same one, but he misses.
In fact, yeah, as Traxxas tries to lunge both with jaws and whip with tail, because this creature is staggered, it's not so much it dodges, it's just like fortunate. It falls out of the range of the attack. Okay, so that's your turn. Cal, you're up.
Came in like a fireball.
Oh, are you going to drop your concentration so you don't kill the baby dragon?
Yep. Well, that happens when I cast, doesn't it? So,
Only if you're
No,
casting
does it not?
concentration
Okay,
spell, but
we'll
yeah, we'll
drop
say you drop
concentration.
it. So where are you going?
See, what's annoying is
Hit Grishnak.
there we go. No, I'm not eating Grishnak, so there we go. I'm trying to get it to cast slightly off center so I can hit all of those fuckers, which it would do because I've measured it all out.
Okay, you want to get them? You could bring it up a
So
little.
basically,
Stop it. There you go, like that.
yeah.
Oh,
basically.
okay, like that. So you could get all of them. Sure. All right then.
So
Okay. We'll
That's
go
a big ball.
top to bottom, left to right on the dex checks. So that's a fail, and a fail, and a pass, and a fail, and a nat 20,
Wow.
and a fail. Okay, so this guy only takes half damage and is very badly burned. But the only other one that passed his save only had 6 health left anyway, so...
Good God.
Bruh.
Oh, save some for the rest of it.
that'll be 10 flame charges.
You are now on 10. Okay, so your spell attack bonus and spell save DC goes up by 1. Remember that.
Fucking hell.
And I will casually stroll on to that's over that little stream. Would I hop that? Is it too big?
This
too
bit, you can walk over the tree. This bit would be Wade.
small? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Oh, hey, bud.
Hey, Rory!
That'll bring us to Gotrek.
I'd suggest we may want to keep one of these alive.
May want to keep him one alive.
Or take a prisoner. That's so unlike you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this whole endeavour is a little bit pointless.
Yeah, we
You just
don't need
murdered some
information.
lizards and just didn't learn anything. What are you doing, Gotrek?
I presume this guy would have fucked off in his tent by now.
Right, so Guttrick's going to move up and going to sweep the legs on this guy.
Okay.
Cobra Kai him.
So you trying to grapple him?
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, so do me an athletics check.
Athletics.
Okay, yep, so you have him grappled.
Donk donk.
Nice.
Gonna hold him.
Just going to try and
You
hold
got
him in
one!
place.
I got one!
Alright, that brings us back to top of the round. He's gonna whip things out. So, do you call out you've got one?
Yeah.
Alright then. So, you watch as a little shape comes like leaping, like launches somersaults over the tent, lands on this guy's shoulders, and is going to bring a dagger down, pommel first on this thing's temple. So
That one stabs Gotrek in the eye.
Oh, I would love that. Okay, so that's 8 plus his sneak attack damage. Yep, this guy just goes limp and is unconscious.
Is it fucking spoons?
Yeah, Spoon's just launched over,
Yeah.
landed on this guy's temple, and then just knocked him out.
Donk.
So he's at 0 HP, but he is stable because that was non-lethal. Spoon's heard you call out that you got him and did think this was the general plan, so that's cool. Rory.
Cool. I'm going to come around this way, and I would like to shoot a guiding bolt at him, please.
Okay.
Because we got two, you know.
Just going
That's
full
enough,
overkill
right?
at this point.
Boop.
Okay, that hits.
Go.
Just blasted apart. Whew, this is
And then I
brutal.
suppose I will protectively hover, like, just looking out for more lizards.
Okay.
Holy
Grishnek.
Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna just come down here and I'm gonna try out my new javelin.
Yeah, boy!
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well.
Go for it.
We only need one hostage.
Welcome to the testing grounds, bitch.
I'm just gonna try it on that guy there.
That'll hit.
If it doesn't kill him, I want to try the special on it as well.
Basically, the javelin just it launches forward, just goes straight through him, and you focus your mind on the javelin and just like wrench your hand back, and the javelin comes pulling back towards you, and the corpse just comes all the way, just lands at your feet in a crumple. There's
Get
no
over
resistance whatsoever.
I just look at the javelin as it sits back
We
in
are
my
the
hand.
burning blades, not the mercy blades.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just look at the javelin as it like lands back in my hand. Oh, I like this.
Okay, well, they're all dead except for this one that is out cold.
His name
Nice.
is Steve.
Okay, yeah,
we're
we're out
out
of
of
combat.
initiative, aren't we?
We're out of initiative.
I'm just going to light this fire. If it's not already lit.
It's
Is it lit? Has
not
it gone out?
it is lit, but it's smouldering somewhat. This was what created the smoke plume that you saw initially.
I was going to say before the Scardies disappear, the main Scardy I'm just going to keep with me, but the other three.
Scardy Prime.
Scardy Prime. The other three, can I just send them in a perimeter until they disappear?
Yeah, keep an eye out.
Just to check.
Does it look like... Is this cage locked?
No, so the cage has been kind of knocked over and pushed back from the when all of the lizardmen like lunged at the duplicate Rory. It did seem like it got kind of kicked and knocked over, so it's lying on its side.
Yeah. I would like to open the cage so the thing can fly free.
So you open the cage, the pseudo dragon inside. It appears it's not moving right now.
Oh, fuck me. Can I do healing hands on it, please?
You can.
Thank you.
I will allow this.
Cool. I'll give him... I've got to give 8, so I give him 8.
Okay, that's good because it has 7 HP.
Nice.
Yep. So as you do this, imparting some of your own energy into it, it does start to stir a little bit. You can see it's a bit singed.
Surely dragons are fireproof. I mean,
It's a pseudo dragon.
pseudo-dragon.
Also, that's only red
Yeah.
dragons.
potato.
I'm ruling. I'm being kind because obviously Cal was trying not to hurt that thing, and we're still getting used to how the fucking wall of fire spell works. Because the cage was knocked over and the bottom of it is like kind of solid metal, that somewhat protected it from the worst of the heat. But it was enough to temporarily render it. So the pseudo dragon, it's a coppery red color, and it's a very slender form. It's got a small frilled crest atop its head. And as it kind of comes to and looks up at you, and it suddenly kind of... It's very timid for a moment, kind of like head darting around, not really sure what's going on. It seems a little bit traumatized, but then just kind of scuttles up your arm and like across your shoulders, like down your other arm a little bit, and then kind of starts to try and burrow into like around your breastplate, kind of around where your robes are, just...
Into my hair.
Rory's got a new pet.
Hello.
Just kind of chirps and trills a little bit. There's a slight warble to it. Still seems a little bit worried.
I'll cast resistance on him. It's a cantrip. That's my equivalent to a bless, because I don't have a bless.
Well, if it has to make a saving throw, I'll bear that in mind.
Yes.
Okay.
So does he look injured or just singed?
Bit singed, but it's
Yeah.
looking a lot better now. You have healed it back up to full. It's looking more just a bit shocked after what just happened. It all happened very,
can
very
imagine.
quickly.
I'll give Cal evils.
Okay. Meanwhile, you've got this prone lizard folk on the floor. Gosh, right, you mean if you still got it grappled or
Yes.
it's out?
Restrain. I shall restrain it.
Grappling and unconscious. Yeah.
We got cuffs or.
Robot?
Yeah, I got handcuffs for days.
You still got your manacles.
See, I knew that. I knew that. You're into that kinky shit.
Do I need to make you more?
Nah, still got the 5 because I've only ever used them one at a time, and I take them back every time.
That's fair. Okay, so yeah, easy enough to manacle this thing.
And I'll manacle his legs as well.
Don't forget his tail.
Tail to his tail.
Yeah,
Tail to his legs.
you can't really manacle his tail.
Do it like the human centipede.
It's like it's
except
either
just
too
him.
thick or
Oh.
too thin. It's just not really.
Yeah,
Like-
just do his hands and his legs.
It's quite a chunky bug. I mean, the manacles barely go around the wrists and the ankles as it is. These guys are quite solid.
Could you not pass one of the hands through the leg one and then cuff his hands behind his back?
I mean,
Like hog tie him with.
I think he's pretty. I think he's pretty secure.
We don't know how strong he is.
Okay. Right. What's everyone doing?
So, I mean,
Can we see Spoon now? Is he back?
Yeah, Spoons is just kind of sat there. He's climbed back up on top of the little tent. He's kind of where they're like hide tents around kind of loops of lashed together reeds. So he's just kind of perched on the top, just kind of kicking his feet a little bit.
Are the crates intact?
Some of them.
So I take it some of them were incinerated.
Some of them were just obliterated by the fireball. So basically, like looking around, you can see where some of the crates were blasted apart and their contents scattered around. There is various treasures, coin, goblets, like
Are there any spoons?
plates. Do me a perception check. You don't see any.
Okay. Sorry, Spoons.
No, it's kind of scattered all over the place. He just shrugs.
You're quite the little ninja, aren't you, my friend?
Like I say, I have my ways.
yeah, ways of avoiding being actually involved in battle.
Fuck off, mate, I helped. At which point he does jump down, actually wander over here to one of the down lizard folk and just pulls a couple of daggers out the side of its throat. And just kind of wipes them off and pockets them back somewhere amongst his person. Wow. Looks like certainly got crates full of treasure.
Okay.
Rory 2's gonna dive into the swamp and then disappear.
Okay.
Is it dragon cult treasure, or is it from the?
Oh yeah, can we
Caravan.
examine the crates?
Yeah, so I would say at this point, having a close look at the crate, you recognise this symbol, Rory, and it is the one that was on the... it's the same as the simple symbol that was on those... on the bounty letter from the two that tried to kill you in Waterdeep.
Uh-oh.
This is definitely the cult symbol.
Yeah. So, can we try and wake this guy up with a bit of water?
Yep, easy enough to do. So slap around a little
Okay.
bit.
Let's water skin this motherfucker to the face.
Okay.
I'm sorry?
Little
Let's
bit of-
water skin this motherfucker to the face.
Little bit of waterboarding.
No, just
Yeah,
just a
Rory
gentle
never hurt
splash.
anyone.
No,
Just
he's
a
only
general-
got
Yeah, no one.
melt a
person.
mask onto him or something. Much more humane.
No, I've left all my masks at home apart from my one.
So, as he kind of comes to and shakes his head a little bit groggily, kind of goes to move and finds himself manacled, strains at them a little bit, and just kind of looks around at all of you, and then just taking in the various dead, mostly badly burned lizard folk around, and just kind of goes a little bit wide-eyed tries to shuffle itself back a little bit away from you. Just goes, in a very kind of pigeon common. No kill. Please, anything. You want treasure? You take. Much treasure.
Where did you get this treasure?
We go through tunnel. Into, what you say, earthy room. Many crates. Take marked. Bring through tunnel. Yes?
I'll say in Dragonborn, so you stole it?
Not steal. Do we do as we are told? Does seem a little surprised, but responds to you back in Draconic.
I'll translate for Gotrek. He's saying he's do what he was told.
Who told him what to do?
Who told you?
The dragon kneelers.
Dragon kneelers?
The cult.
With the masks? I'll take one of the Dragon Claw masks out of my bag. Like this?
Yes. Yes, like that.
Wait, so they're stealing from themselves?
No, so I think the Dragon Cult asked them to bring the stuff to the castle. Is that right? Are you taking it to the castle?
To the castle, yes.
Yes. They're delivery men.
Right, okay.
And where did you find this one? And I'll point to the little dragon.
You were talking in Draconic again, yeah?
Yeah.
In the cellar. With the crates. Was marked. We bring marked crates.
What cellar? What tunnel?
Just kind of looks at you a little bit like... We go through
Would you
swamp.
like a map?
Map? We go through swamp. We find tunnel. We go through tunnel into a cellar. In the cellar are the crates. We take the crates.
I think
Well-
he needs to show us this cellar.
He's back that
Have you
way.
done this often?
Regular, yes.
I see.
Is it just this group, or is there more of you?
More of us? He kind of
How
cocks his
many?
head like questioning. Like, more lizard folk?
Yes.
We are. Many at the castle.
Why?
Do you
Go, mate.
do you worship Tiamat?
Tiamat?
Five-headed dragon.
Not really.
That was
And
the
why?
right answer.
Why are you involved with the cult?
What choice we have?
Say no.
Yeah.
They would kill us.
How did joining the cult work out for you in Draconic?
Up till today,
Your friends.
not great. We are treated poorly.
If you wish to be freed from the cult, we would help you. We would
Whoa.
stop it.
I just,
Killed all your friends, but trust
I
me.
just-
Gotrek, you don't know
I
what I'm
just feel
saying.
like-
Shut up.
No.
I just feel like every conversation we had after we've slaughtered like 99% of anyone's group is like,
Free.
it's like, you know, Inglorious Bastards. And what are you going to do with that freedom? Well, I just can't abide that. Boom, you're dead.
Would
You- So going back to what you just said, Ruri. Ruri, do me a persuasion check. Okay, he kind of eyes you suspiciously. You would drive out the dragon kneelers?
Well, I mean, we're doing that already.
You would kill the
So-
bullywugs.
The what?
The bullywugs, the frogmen.
I've never killed a frog, but it doesn't sound very hard.
Do
Maybe.
the bullywugs work with the cult?
Yes. They lord over us because they have magic. They kill our leader, our chief. And so the cult puts them in charge. But you have magic. You could kill the bullywugs. And then lizard folk be free.
If they're in the castle, I think anyone in the castle is probably going to die.
Oh, no. We could help. Snapjaw could help.
Snapjaw?
Aye.
Is he your new leader?
No, it's me.
Oh, hello.
I knew that was coming.
If you can convince the rest of your people that we are not a bunch of murderous savages who don't talk to people and just blow them up,
I mean,
we're the lesser of two evils, obviously.
Yes, I do apologise.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have attacked you if your friend didn't try and attack my twin brother.
of course. Yes.
Doesn't seem entirely convinced.
If you would not kill them all, I could speak with, try and convince. Yes.
Maybe they shouldn't be so flammable.
Would we know? Sorry. Would we know the direction of the trading post that was attacked? What direction it was relative to us now?
You got a vague idea, which Spoons confirms. It's basically the direction that they came from.
Yeah. So that's what I was just gonna. If we knew like a direction that the trading post was in, I would have just asked him if the cave was in that direction as well.
The tunnel.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say it's easy enough to put together from what he's saying, from what you know of the area, from what you've learned, and from what Sister Garrity told you. It's safe to assume that they were bringing stuff from that place. So Snapjaw's kind of, you can see he's definitely doing some calculating, kind of looking around.
We could help each other, yes?
Yes,
You are against the Dragon Kneelers?
we're against dragon kneelers, and I personally am against any form of subjugation. Now that I know that you're being commanded against your will, I feel I have to help you.
It
Look
is...
around at all the dead lizard men.
It's such ridiculous.
Especially like those last two were just so unnecessary.
Oh, God.
I mean, I did the first 10, but that's not on me. That's,
Of course not. No, never your fault.
We are the bad guys.
I had a plan. I had a
Hence,
plan.
are we
It's
the
just that
baddies?
I had to do a spider rescue.
I mean, we've got skulls and our caps.
Yeah.
I haven't yet. I haven't yet.
At this point, Spoons does wander over. Not a bad idea what he's suggesting. Maybe if we work with him, we wouldn't have to go through killing absolutely everyone. If he's got some friends there, if we can convince them to help out.
That'd be great.
Yes, little green one is right. I help. We must be quick.
Spoon, the trading post that was attacked, was it Thornhold?
Thornall?
Thornhold.
Nah,
It's owned
Thornall's
by-
to the south, mate. Long way.
Huh.
That's like the far end of the mere.
I've never been before. I just heard it in passing.
Nah, this place that got attacked, I think it was the Carnath Roadhouse.
Okay.
No, Thornhold is like a dwarf mining outpost.
Yeah.
Former dwarf mining outpost.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, Snapjaw, I think we have a mutually beneficial working relationship ahead of us.
So,
Just bear with us while we loot you, brothers.
No.
I mean, you get the impression they're not carrying a lot. Obviously, there is a lot of loot scattered around. But, okay, so he's got you.
I help, but you want to just walk in?
No.
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 Bad call.
Sneak.
There are many.
What would be the best way for us to get in the castle if we were wanting to keep it on the wraps?
He seems to think about this for a moment. He's like,
Many come, many go. Often. My people not really know, not really care who. Frogmen, they don't really know anything. So maybe we could pretend that you are there to join or work for, yes?
Yes, we could possibly do that.
Maybe.
Does anyone else carry treasure in other than lizard folk?
No, they make us do all of the work.
So we can't pretend we're making a delivery then.
Don't they know all of our faces?
They don't know mine.
We do have a
I
lot of
I can
masks.
put my
with
mask
us.
on.
I have 3 that I could give people, and then I could disguise myself.
I've got my helmet.
We have options. Snapjaw, can someone heal him, by the way?
I refuse to waste a spell.
he's not looking
Gotrek?
great.
Maybe later.
Please.
I'll use.
Hold on, did he take any damage? I thought he just
Yeah.
got grappled and bonked on the
He
head.
got
He got
hit to
he got
0
he
hit
took
points.
non-lethal damage. That doesn't change the fact he's got a pretty nasty contusion. All right,
Yeah,
so 21. That's
probably got
putting
minor
back up to
brain
full,
damage.
actually.
Nice.
So he does kind of shake his head and is looking.
Thank you. I think more clearly now.
I'll,
you have-
I'll put some. Sorry, go on.
You have... The dragon kneelers, they all wear robes and masks. Maybe disguise you like them.
I mean, we do have an abundance of masks with Rory.
What
How
do you-
many did you
I
have?
wouldn't. I don't have an abundance. I have.
Cal, weren't you carrying a whole load of masks?
I gave him to Gotrek to melt down.
Oh, you are fucking kidding me.
I've got 3.
Nope.
I've got 3. You've got your mask. Gotrek, not Gotrek. Grisha's got his helmet. I can disguise myself.
Well, yeah,
So
Gotrek.
we can make it work.
Gotrek needs a mask because someone shouted his name whilst wearing his armor.
Exactly.
I know who did that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be willing to take the chance that as an orc, as a half orc, they'd probably just see an orc and they wouldn't
Yeah.
really look too much into it.
You could
And
just
if I
turn into a
disguise-
bear and we could like you like a
Yes, you could be our pet bear.
tame animal.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah. 'Cause
have...
definitely not going to be suspicious walking a bear into the castle.
What is a bear?
Well, we'll just throw a treasure chest on your back.
What's a bear?
You've never seen a bear before?
Not now. You need to save it. It's a big furry mammal.
One brave star.
Do not know this bear.
I'm assuming we're going to have a kip before we storm the castle.
You have robes?
So if we give the masks, I'll pull out the red robes, the red cloaks.
He kind of looks
Not
at him
quite
and
the same.
shakes his head.
They're all in black. We could... We make something work. You say the dragon kneelers know you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, they do.
Maybe best they don't see you.
We could go invisible.
You have powerful magics.
I don't like to brag.
Like, all of the kneelers know you?
The,
A lot of them know us.
those in power know us. Well, them.
I think it's safe to say that most of them will probably know us now.
Yeah.
The frogmen do not know you.
Probably not.
Are the frogmen the ones that watch the gate?
Bit of both. Some of us, some of them. The dragon kneelers, they stay in the castle.
Well then, it might be easier to get in than we thought.
You want to go frog hunting?
If we... you take me to castle, I speak with my people. You meet with them. Convince them that we have a chance. You help us. You deal with the dragon kneelers. We deal with the frogmen.
Ah.
I mean, I like your plan, but didn't you just tell us that the frogmen kill you? Because they've got magic.
Their leader has magic, killed our chief. But they are puny.
Okay.
Without the leader, without the dragon kneelers, we eat them.
I've heard frogs really nice.
Well, it sounds like a good plan.
Does.
And if you get us into that castle, then I'll show you what a fucking bear looks like.
And on that, we shall wrap up for tonight then.
Oh, shit, is it that time already?
It is 11:10, yeah.
Holy shit.
How good was that?
That was a great session.
I'm glad you
Sorry we
enjoyed.
killed all his family.
That was one of those sessions where I'm thinking, okay, I've got a rough idea of the direction this is going, and you guys went, hey, let's go this way. It's okay. No, it wasn't horrendous. It was good.
That was particularly triggering after having played The Last of Us.
It was chaotic as all hell, but I don't know. I should really expect that.
Very much like we are the bad guys.
I think it's more just that thing of you are not a stealthy group, nor are you in any
I did
way
my
subtle.
I tried my best to carry the weight. My back hurts.
What I'll say is there's like 15 less potential allies you could have. It's all good.
They attacked
They
Rory
did.
too. What
They
was
did.
gonna do?
You just popped up in the middle.
What did you think was going to happen? Surprise!
What?
Ah!
You were looking for an excuse.
You want to start a fight?
We should have all just dropped in and just be like, "Oh, look how big and scary we are." Maybe they are that.
It's all good.
Should woulda, coulda.
Yeah.
So we will pick up here next week then, and yes, we've got a week to formulate a plan of infiltration. How are we going to go about this? I am looking
Who
forward to
knows?
seeing how well you guys manage to stick to this loose idea.
Man, get those backup characters ready. All right.
Yeah, for them, not for you guys.
If the camp is going like the last time we tried to do this kind of thing.
Oh god.
It's all right. You've
No
had a
flirt
practice
lesson.
run. You've had a practice
Yeah.
run. You know how to handle this situation now.
We're
All right,
bigger,
then.
badder, and better now as well.
I kind
So
of want to go off with Tyler and help him kill that frog chief.
go off to the where?
I want to go off with him and help him kill the frog chief.
Well, we'll
Yeah,
see.
side quest.
See what comes up. Well, the suggestion is that the frog chief is at the castle.
Little buddy
Yeah.
cop moment.
To be fair, now that we've killed half his people, we owe him a debt.
We owe you a life debt. We owe you your life.
Shout at the top of the voices. You think it's okay to kill people?
Okay.
Having killed
Only we're allowed to do that.
12 of
Yeah.
his people.
So anyway,
Sorry, 13. I forgot the one that Spoons shanked.
we will pick up with that next week as you begin your attempts to infiltrate the castle. Yeah, it should be an interesting one. So I hope you did enjoy that. Chaotic bit of madness. And yeah, catch you next week. Good night.